Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum.
Three guys and no bear. I can't go any lower than this. Time
Bam.
for
Bam.
football.
Bam.
Ba-da-da-ba-ba.
Bam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rob's
it's
a-
officially part of me.
Honestly, when you go low, Rob, I can't even tell it's you. You become like a new person.
It's just getting in on the intro.
Yeah. Hey everybody, football, yay.
Yay. Yeah. Conflicting feelings for some and just regular feelings for others.
My
Yep.
team won. I'll take those. It doesn't matter how it
Yay.
happened. We won.
My team won the game, but they're still losing the war. As long as Matt Canada is employed, the war is lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you don't fire them mid-season. They don't do that.
I hate that,
You're
dude.
not supposed to do that.
Can we fire defensive coordinator keeps lining up a large outside linebacker against Devontae Adams in a zone coverage? Anyway, so we got some news. Justin Jefferson heading to the injured reserve.
Oof.
So that's not good.
Yeah.
Why must the fun players die?
Yeah. I'm telling you, body armor, man. This is a huge. This stinks.
Rob's gonna say body armor until the end of time, and then
Dude,
they'll, like,
eventually
finally-
they're gonna come out. There's gonna be like fireworks and all the fanfare, and they're gonna look like Power Rangers, and it's gonna be badass. And I don't know why the NFL doesn't just lean into it, just accept it. You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Then we had, but aside from that, it means he's at least out 4 games. Because I remember getting put on the IR used to mean you're gone the season. Now it's just 4 games, and then you can come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
well, that was since COVID, right? Because they had to
Yeah.
loosen and then they never really changed it back.
Yeah, which is I actually like it this way because it's like, all right, he's gonna miss a month, but he could come back, so it's
Yeah.
kind of nice.
It gives more guys in the league opportunities to play too, because you can put a player who's only injured a little bit on the reserve and give another guy a roster spot.
Yeah. So honestly, a great thing that came from COVID finally.
Hey, we found one.
Then we had a trade. The
Trade!
Falcons have agreed to trade for Rams Van Jefferson, the wide receiver. It's a 2025 pick swap, 6th and 7th rounders. So just kind of a low risk, high reward type of deal.
Yeah.
Cool. Bad news for the Dolphins. The new star young running back, Devon Achane or Achane.
It's Achane. Achane, yeah.
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
it is. It's because I keep being like, oh, he wanted his name pronounced. And I'm like, wait, how did he want it pronounced?
Yeah.
Achane.
It always happens. Yeah.
He's going to miss a couple weeks. So that kind of sucks.
That's a bummer.
Yep. And then we also had Travis Kelce practicing. He wants that Thursday night game, dude. He wants the Taylor Swift game. Another one.
Well, she wasn't there this weekend.
Yeah,
so,
she was
I'm-
in Minnesota. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, was she really?
No, she wasn't there.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. I was gonna
Because it
say.
was in Minnesota. She's probably, I'm not going to Minnesota.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I
yeah.
mean, but the NFL offices must have been on fire.
Oh, no doubt.
It must have been like DEFCON 1. Like, Taylor Swift is not there. She is not in the building. They had like a sign up on the wall and everything. Like, Taylor Swift sits here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's truly just a travesty. Then we have, let's see, Cardinals. James Conner will miss multiple weeks. That sucks, except it's the Cardinals, so they don't care. And the Jets. Big Jets news here. The Jets are considering trading Mecole Hardman.
Yep. Well, I mean, I don't know who's gonna give anyone anything for that, but sure.
And then the other Jets news was that Vera Tucker?
Yeah,
out for the
AVT.
year. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a rough one.
That's a big bad one because he's our best lineman, and our line is not great. So
Yep. That is bad.
Yeah.
Some other actually really big injuries. Bills Daquan Jones suffered torn pectoral in team's Week 5 loss to the Jaguars and is out for the season. Apparently that is a massive injury, according to our blood vendor, our local Bills Patreon correspondent. He said that's how their run defense pretty much functions, and without him, teams will just run through the Bills, and he's very sad.
I mean, how do you even like a torn pectoral sounds like?
Dude, have you seen? There's like pictures. If you look that shit up,
no,
TJ Watt had.
You do not. It's like it looks bad.
I mean, it sounds horrible. It sounds like a monster. He was attacked by a troll or a goblin.
Yeah. And then Anthony Richardson with a grade 3 AC joint sprain. So if you remember, Derek Carr actually had this, but I believe it was grade 1. So that's why he came back. But this one is worse. So he will not be coming back soon.
It's a shame.
Yeah. And Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones strained his neck, but he might play. So those are, a majority of the injuries. There's more, but that's what I found on my
important ones.
Yeah, those were the ones on my sheet of internet sheets. Then we also see here we had NFL football games.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Did we? So kicking things off with Bears Commanders, which was pretty much the DJ Moore's versus the Commander.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, 230 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Would hate to play him in fantasy. That's
that would be really bad. Yeah, I can't.
How many points did he score? Oh yeah,
50.
Yeah, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, just checking in. I had a victory in fantasy this week. Just want to put it out there, and I defeated. Who was that? Kremdor, actually.
Yeah. A lot of fun this week. A lot of fun. So yeah, this was actually closer than it looks because the Bears did the classic go up against the team like 27-3, and then the other week was 28-7, and then it looked like they were going to blow it because
they were trying.
Yeah, they were trying. The Commanders were rolling back, and then this I just remembered Ron Rivera with the classic. Whoa, we're rolling down the field. We're in the red zone. What if we kick a field goal? Kick a field goal, guys? Yeah, let's do that. And then they kick a field goal, and then guess what happens? The Bears get the ball back, waste time, and then kick their own field goal. So we're back to square one.
Old Riverboat Ron.
I'll have a lot to say about field goals this week, okay? Be warned. This is me loading the chamber. I'm gonna talk about field goals this week.
This is once again the defensive coaches, man. Defensive fucking coaches every goddamn time. Every time.
Like if they were down by like 10 or something going into the final time. But if they would have just went for the touchdown, even if they don't get the 2-point conversion, they're still only down like 7. Like mathematically, it's like just go for the touchdown. You're going to need touchdowns anyway. So you may as well go for it when you're driving. You have all the momentum. Like it just made no sense. And then you kick a field goal. It's like, all right, well, I guess instead of 2 scores, we need 2 scores. So that's good. Like
it feels like the Brandon Staley effect where like Staley goes for 4th downs like a dumbass sometimes and loses them. And coaches are like, well, we can't go for 4th downs ever. Did you see? They yelled at him. They yelled at him for doing that. We can't do that.
It was
in the
was it in the Monday night or the Sunday night game where the announcer, I think it was Collinsworth, where they were talking about the next gen stat analytic, garbage nonsense things. But But it was funny because they kept getting blindsided because they were like, oh yeah, well, hey, it looks like they're going for it here, and if you're past midfield and it's 4th and less than 3, then the analytics say go for it, and then the teams like always kick the field goal
I think it's
or
less
punted
than
it.
5 actually.
Yeah, no, it
It's 4th and
seriously
less than 5.
is. Yeah, like I feel like Dan Campbell is the only coach that has realized what. And not even fully, right? Because teams should be going for it way more on 4th than they have been. It's basically Madden rules now.
We were trending in that direction, and then we were taking like a step back. It's like going for it on 4th down is like LGBTQ plus rights right now. I don't get it. Like we were going the right way, and then suddenly it's like, what happened, guys?
I just I think it just depends on the coaching. Like. Some coaches are just like, hey, you know what? I think we go for it. Like when Atlanta played against us, Arthur, whatever his name is, on the Falcons coach,
Arthur C. Clarke,
Arthur Smith.
Yeah,
like he actually called a really good game. He would just go for it. Like they had the momentum, and like I was at the point, I'm like, I hope they kick a field goal here. And they'd go for it, and they'd get it, and you're just like, oh my god, it's so demoralizing because then you're just everything's reset. And like, even if they don't convert it, you're still like deep in their territory. Like it just statistically does seem like the best thing to do. And so some of these old coaches, they just don't have, they're just like analytics, spamalytics. I ain't listening to that. What's a mathematical equation anyway?
Yeah. I trust my defense. They got this.
Yeah.
It's like that gag in that movie Moneyball from many years ago, if you guys ever watched it, but it's the old baseball scouts being like, oh yeah, not him. Like, why? He's got an ugly girlfriend. What does that mean? Bad eyesight.
Yeah, that sound like.
And honestly,
scouting.
I do think that a lot of the NFL is like that. The old boys club kind of, guys continually getting. I think that's where a lot of those coach hires, where it's like, what? Why?
That's where our defensive coordinator hire came from, because he's not good.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, this game ended up being close. I think it was badly coached, honestly. Both quarterbacks got
neither
pressured.
of these teams are good.
They're not good.
Yeah.
Justin Fields went 15 of 29, 282, 4 touchdowns, which I'm not gonna lie, I think DJ Moore should actually get more credit than Justin Fields. Like DJ Moore literally won them this game. That was without DJ Moore. I
mean, hey,
Cole Kmet had some clutch catches throughout the game as well.
He did also have
sprinkle that in there.
Yeah,
he had like a 42-yard one at one point, didn't he?
He had 42 yards total, but yeah, he had a big one.
Oh, fair, yeah. No, yeah. But this is 2 weeks in a row now that Justin Fields has thrown for 4 touchdowns. That's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, you want that consistency all throughout the year, and we'll see what happens. But I mean, 2 games in a row, 4 touchdowns, pretty good. Even if your receiver is good.
The Justin Fields' bad narrative was shaky. Like I don't know. I feel like everyone last year was like, Justin Fields, he's just on the Bears. Like he's on the Bears. At the start of this season, like 2 games in, Justin Fields is the worst quarterback. He killed my dog, and actually, he should be in jail. Yeah, I don't know how we made that giant leap.
Now, I will say, it was the Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders, which are probably 2 of the worst teams in football. But, I mean, you have to beat the worst teams in football.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's I will say, like, okay, let's see how he does going forward after this. But, he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if I'll trust anything until he's on a different team.
Yeah, which at this point, it's going to be weird because this is his last year of his contract, and the Bears are going to have probably the top pick in the draft, probably a couple.
Definitely 2,
because they'll have the Panthers, and the Panthers are looking like they're going to be the worst team. So do they draft like Caleb Williams, or what if Justin Fields starts looking good? Do you like go, oh, maybe we re-sign Justin Fields, but then you pass on Caleb Williams, and then he becomes like get insane? Like it's going to be
they have to make the decision earlier than that, though, too, right? Because isn't it? He's got it's a decision on whether they're going to give him the 5-year extension, right? I think 5th year.
I don't know the timing of it, but I think just regardless of that, the Bears have to be like, hey, we're going with Justin Fields. We're not going with Justin Fields. I think they're going to keep Fields. I think that's. I think that they're a stubborn organization, so they're going to do it. I think Fields would be better off somewhere else.
Probably,
Literally anywhere else.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
there's a
not
few
literally anywhere else, but there are some teams. Yeah.
Dude, imagine him
Yeah.
on the Jets, man.
I wanted him
Yeah.
that year. That was the year that it was between Zach Wilson and Justin Fields, and then Zach Wilson jumped up the boards and Justin Fields dropped. And
Yep.
yeah,
I remember that live.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that whole draft class hasn't looked amazing, but again, like I think with Justin Fields, in Justin Fields' case, like I think you could see that the talent is clearly there. He just needs help from scheming and play calling and good coaching, and he hasn't had that. He's one of those QBs that they give him something different every year, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to succeed that way, especially when you're that young and you're suddenly rich and famous and all this. Like it's hard for anybody to actually succeed properly.
Confidence
and
is a
learn
big
this
thing
skill.
too.
Yeah.
Like the teams like the Jets, the Bears, and the Browns just shatter a QB's confidence so early on.
Yep.
I mean, like, I'm not saying that I'm not one of the people to do this, but I mean, the kind of vitriol pointed towards Zach Wilson here since he's been here is intense, man.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, I can't. Can you even imagine the feeling of walking into a stadium and having 100,000 people boo you?
I would
Yeah.
not be able to handle that emotionally. I would admit that.
Yeah.
I'd admit that right here.
That's rough, man. Yeah. So but yeah, no, I Justin Fields. Yeah, I think Justin Fields is good in spite of the Bears, and I think they're actually in a similar situation to the Jets were a couple of years ago, actually in that draft where it was like, well, we've got Sam Darnold on the team. We could just load up on offensive pieces over time and see if, because he'll be here. He wants to be here. So whatever, right? We're not going to put out like a massive contract. We go Sam Darnold and stick with it, or we could get Zach Wilson because he threw that pretty ball on his pro day, and well, here we are. So
Yeah.
I actually think they're going to dump him, which is I potentially good for his career, depending on where he goes.
Yeah. It's honestly it's going to be interesting because you can go two ways. I mean, the reason I think they would dump him is just because you can get a potential high-rated quarterback this draft and pay him like nothing in comparison for 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. And then you just build around that. That's the main reason I think they would do it. Which would
Although
be funny if then he left and like became insane with some other team.
Yeah. I do also want to say it. This is an irrational thing of mine, but isn't Caleb Williams a USC QB?
Yep.
Not interested. Sorry. been down that road.
Yeah.
There's a curse on that school. There's a blight. I don't know what's wrong with it, but there's a blight on that school.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Leinart was all right. Good,
yep.
He was all right. What about actually was Carson Palmer USC?
He was the best QB that came out of there,
And he was cursed.
He was
Yeah,
cursed
he
as
was
well.
cursed. That's what I'm saying. It's a cursed school.
Well, he
Sam
went to the-
Darnold, also USC QB.
Oh, yeah.
which is why when I was seeing in the draft this year that Caleb Williams is the top, and that the Jets might, like at the beginning of the year, when Aaron Rodgers went down,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, we're gonna fucking do it again, aren't we? We're gonna do it again. But sorry, go on.
I was gonna say he also went to the Bengals, which back then was also cursed.
Yeah, that's rough. And then the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah. On the other side, Sam Howell actually did pretty all right.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah. Like he actually does look like a competent, potentially good quarterback. But
He
I mean,
looks
he's getting,
very rookie though.
he does look very
Yeah,
rookie.
But
did
he is
get-
essentially a rookie, so
yeah.
Right.
He has been sacked a lot. So
Yeah.
I think that does play into it. In fact, he's been sacked the most in the NFL, 29 times.
That is an absurd statistic. That is
Yep.
so many sacks. It's
It's
week
pretty
5.
bad.
Yep.
He's gonna die, dude.
He's
Like,
going to end up like Daniel Jones, who's been sacked 28 times and is on pace
Jesus.
for the most sacked quarterback in like a 5-year span or something.
Yeah, I mean the highest I remember. I mean, most years if you have like 50 plus on the year, that's really high.
Yep.
So to be at half that in game 4, game 5.
Yep. It's not good.
Yeah.
Who's the least sack quarterback that's a starter? Let me see.
Good question.
It is looking like Baker Mayfield at 4.
Wow.
Tied with Patrick Mahomes, who's also only been sacked 4.
Wow.
That was pretty good.
Baker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Not
Good
bad,
for
yeah.
him. You know, interesting about this game too is that Logan Thomas had 11 targets,
Mhm.
and Terry McLaurin only had 5.
That is
Oh,
pretty
got it.
weird, yeah.
That must be annoying to be a fantasy owner of Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying if I'm being honest, but also a strange decision. If I'm being honest, you know,
Yeah.
like Logan Thomas is very good, but you know, you got Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's, yeah. I don't know why they didn't target him more, but maybe game plan they did. I don't know. Either way, that was this game. Then we had Jaguars Bills in London.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And my Jaguars thought was true. This was going to be a home game for them because they're just chilling in London already, pretty much.
Yeah.
I didn't really think of the logistics of that. That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And it's already kind of a home game for them anyway, right?
Yeah, like they play there so much.
Yeah.
So this was 25-20, big fourth quarters from both teams. And the big thing I see here, time of possession, 38 minutes for the Jaguars, only 21 minutes for the Bills.
Well, I mean, the big thing you missed was the rushing yard total for the Bills of 29.
Yeah. 29 rushing yards to 196.
And also the rushing of Travis Etienne, which was
Good thing you didn't leave him on the bench or anything.
Yeah,
Sorry, you won fantasy, but it's fun to shit talk all the bad things that happened to you in fantasy this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I did leave my highest point scorer on the bench, and I still beat Krendor, so that is true.
You did. Yeah, you did. Travis Etienne, 26 carries, 136 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
5.23 yards per carry.
Yep. That's a lot of yards per carry, especially with that many carries. Calvin Ridley, 122 receiving yards. And the Jaguars finally showing up here. I think they are now looking like the AFC South team that we thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
I think that division's still gonna be bad. I don't know.
Oh, it'll still be bad. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, they seem like a one round in the playoffs and done kind of team. But
Yeah.
maybe not, you know. Who
It's also
knows?
still like, I mean, I look at all 4 of those teams in the South, and all 4 of them I feel like have beaten each other already somehow. So,
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Also, the Bills lost Matt Milano as well, who needs surgery on his leg. They're starting middle linebacker. I don't know if he's middle linebacker or not, but that's
Bills have just like died. They're the injury team of the year, pretty much. It seems.
Yeah, it's rough.
But they got Von Miller back, so that's there you go.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, they just the Bills just. Isn't it weird how like the Bills have like risen and they're like, dude, this is like the team, and now they're like starting to fall a bit, and just from like injuries and just playoff mishaps and everything. And it's like, yeah, their window's closing. It's like, didn't this team just like start rising? Like, it's crazy how fast a window closes in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you know, we're not sure yet, but I mean, I was saying it last year. They didn't look like the team of yesteryear, but we'll see. We'll see.
I would say if they weren't against the Dolphins in the division, I'd be like, hey, you know what, they should be fine. But like the Dolphins probably win the division at this rate, and then you know, even though they did beat the Dolphins, like still. With all these injuries piling up, and then, you know, even if they get a wild card, like, oh no, maybe they get hot at the right time. Like, you never know. But it's because they still got Diggs and Gabe Davis, and like the running game. That running game is a problem, though. They need to do something there.
Yeah.
But you know, I like the Bills still, so I'm cheering for them. Yeah. Then we had the Saints shut out the Patriots 34-0 in New England.
I was in Mexico when I pulled up the phone to talk to you guys, and I was listening in. You guys, the Patriots, they're still, you know, they're not that bad. No, they are bad. They are one of the worst teams in the league. They suck. I've never felt more vindicated in my life. Okay, they are not good.
I mean, I as a Jets fan, I all I have to say is you really love to see it. This is back-to-back weeks where Bill Belichick has had the worst game of his career, and then followed it up with the worst game of his career, the new worst game of the career, and yeah, I mean, I'm just all here for it. It's very nice. It's very nice.
It is cathartic, for sure.
Yep.
Even as a not in that division individual, I mean, everyone hated the Patriots, 7 years ago.
And look, I do apologize to Patriots fans in enjoying that so much. Yeah, but also like I don't know, a lot of Patriots fans that I've at least seen or read online are like, yeah. It's the cost of the 20 years of great success. And I think that's fine. I think anybody would trade 20. Like, if you get that run for then being garbage bin for the next 40 years, whatever, right?
Yeah. It's
It would suck to be like an 8-year-old Patriots fan or something, not remember any of their Super Bowls, and now you suck for 40 years.
I mean, that's basically me as a Jets fan, right? Is that like I became a fan, 40 years after their only Super Bowl, so it's effectively like it didn't happen. I never got to celebrate that.
It's kind of like if you grow up with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and then they're gone, and then
well, you had a Super Bowl in your life. Actually, you had 2
Super Bowls, but one I was like 8 years old, and I was like, "What's going on?" In fact, I think that was the year I started like watching more football.
I have the issue where both the Super Bowls I watched. Well, I guess I technically have watched 3, but we lost one. I was not into not really into football that much for those 2. Like I still would watch the Steelers and I would yell and scream at the TV, but I did not know how football worked. I was that kind of fan that was like, tackle them! What are you doing?
Why do they run the ball up the middle?
Exactly. Yeah. Why did he do that? He threw it right to him. But then like only since like the podcast, like what 5 or 6 years ago has been since I've like really into football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been ups and downs, mostly downs.
Just like the Patriots this game, because there's really nothing to be cheerful about. They have now been outscored 71-3 in their
bad
last 2 games.
Mac Jones ain't it.
I
know I'm being unfair to Mac Jones because yes, their whole team sucks, but when I watch Mac Jones, I do not see. I see a Derek Carr light, and that's bad. No, that's bad. That's bad. It's someone who's not as good as Derek Carr, who I feel like their ceiling is Derek Carr. That is really bad.
And funnily enough, the other quarterback that beat them was Derek Carr this game, who did pretty okay.
Yeah. And look, here's what I'll say about Mac Jones. So far, he's still probably the second most competent QB in that class, right? Because he's the Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, whatever. So they have nothing. They have no offense. And again, I talked about it on last week's podcast, but like, it's the Bill Belichick way of being like, just get the Jerry from down the street at the gas station. He seems like a nice guy, and that's he's their first string wide receiver. They don't have anything on offense, and it's not like they're helping. And on top of that, Mac Jones has had a bunch of offensive coordinator turmoil while he's been there, right? Because Josh McDaniels was the offensive. His OC in the first year, and they went to the playoffs.
Don't you say that name?
Well, look, hey, I will shit on.
They have Bill O'Brien.
That's right.
Everyone was all excited about that, right? This year, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, he's one of the worst things that's ever happened to the Texans ever, like literally ever.
And before that, they had Matt Patricia, who was like also terrible.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, Bill Belichick and that franchise managed to do that incredible dynasty, but Bill Belichick is not a great drafter. He did not have good coordinators. Like, they work well in the Patriots. Josh McDaniels with the Patriots has an impeccable record. Really good. I mean, even without Tom Brady. But
I think what we've learned over the last 4-ish years is that the Bill Belichick Tom Brady relationship was like 70-30, 80-20 Tom to Bill. I think that's what it was. Bill's a good coach, and they probably wouldn't have won all those Super Bowls without him, but they probably would have won half or more of them without him.
I don't know. I mean, like, you know, look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or even Peyton Manning, even though he got 2, but he got 1 at the tail end of his career with another team. It's actually really not like that dynasty is unlike anything else in the NFL ever, right? Unless you're talking about pre-Super Bowl era and you're talking about Jim Brown with the 10 straight championship
really think that it was just a testament to Tom Brady.
It is for sure. No, I mean it is for sure, but it's both of them. It's the same. It's like
I'll give you 70-30. How about that?
Well, no. Here's what I'll say. If you put Pat Mahomes, like if the Jets had drafted Pat Mahomes, which we could have, then he would have been coached by Todd Bowles. Do you think he would have been as good on the Todd Bowles Jets, throwing to whoever the fuck we had at that time, which I don't even remember, versus Andy Reid?
No, but I think it's
Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill.
I'm not saying Bill did nothing. I'm just saying that now that Bill doesn't have Tom, his age is showing, and his inability to bring this team forward is showing.
I do agree on that to some degree. Like I do think he needed to. He has needed to delegate things that he hasn't delegated because that total control was helpful during the dynasty, but now he can't rely on that.
He should retire. I'm gonna stand firm. I think he should just go out on a high. I think you're still in that high, like 6 fucking Super Bowls or something. Like you can ride that for a while, but go out on the high note and let someone else deal with this fucking mess. Like, bro's like 80 years old, man. Like, I don't know. Like, he needs a break.
I mean, what is he gonna do? Life. That's the only that football. If you ever watch him in an interview, football is the only thing he gives a shit about.
Like, very sad.
I mean, it really is. It's his entire fucking life. It really is.
Well, then, as an organization, then the Patriots need to know that the time is coming. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but you gotta make a plan for the future.
So the weird thing is, I went on the Patriots Reddit. I didn't see what the Patriots people were saying, and I found one thing. That's a tweet they posted. It said it's December 2021. The Patriots had just beaten the Bills to go to 9-4 and have the 1 seed in the AFC. People were saying the Patriots are back, comparing Mac to Brady, and there was hope that maybe that one more Super Bowl was in them under Bill Belichick.
Yeah. I mean, they went to the playoffs that first year.
That's what's weird is like they've just regressed since then. I guess from
they had a bunch. Yeah, like they lost their OC, their DC, and then they got back their DC, except then he played as their OC and it was bad, right? I mean, remember Matt Patricia came back as OC for a year, and then now they've got Bill O'Brien, and like they have total turmoil. They like there's huge turnover at their coordinator positions, which keeps working out very poorly for teams that hire their coordinators as head coaches. I don't know why they keep doing it.
It's also like their team is built like a 2015 like Pro Bowl team. Like they're like Ezekiel Elliott, Devontae Parker, Juju Smith-Schuster. Like all these guys. You're like, hey, that guy used to be good.
I cannot believe how fast Juju got old. As someone who is a big Juju fan, I feel like he was drafted so recently, and now suddenly he's like an old man.
Yep. They even have Ty Montgomery, former Packer great, that is not a great because he fumbled some crucial plays that were kick returns, would have won us some games, got us higher positioning, or helped us make the playoffs in a better.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like like his GMing, in my opinion, looks more like a team that's, like I said, reloading. Like a team that's like okay, we'll get this guy, a veteran guy, he's still got some left in the tank. We'll use him as a role player and slot him into. You have nothing to slot anything into anything. That's the thing, is you can't be playing like that because it worked when you had Gronk and Tom Brady or whatever, right? Like again, it's what the Chiefs are doing right now. Right, where they can take flyers on guys who like other teams are not looking to potentially pick up, or like look at the Christian McCaffrey trade, right? Like that's the same kind of situation, right? There was a shitty team and a good team, and a good team was like, yeah, we're willing to pay a good player a lot of money, and the shitty team was like, well, we're shitty anyway, so fucking trade him.
Even they got rid of Jacoby Myers, who like the last 3 years he's putting up like an average like 800 yards. Last year he had 804, 6 touchdowns. Like he's probably one of their best receivers, and they're just like, yeah, let him go.
Yeah,
we don't need him. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, just get rid of their good players, and then they go to like the Raiders, and they're like, "Hey, he's doing pretty good." Oh yeah, well, who needs him?
So I honestly, I think he needs to. I think he needs to delegate scouting and GMing to someone else.
Yeah,
and to like a team, to the team of people, because I'm sure they have a scouting team.
Yeah,
leave it to them, and he just focuses on the coaching stuff if he's going to keep going.
I'll be honest. Here's how I see it. Okay, next week the Patriots. Actually, no, in 5 days. Yeah, in 5 days they're playing the Raiders. Okay, that's the easiest game on the rest of their schedule, besides the like Giants and maybe the Broncos. Broncos, I don't know. Who knows? The rest of their schedule is kind of a nightmare because it's Bills, Dolphins. And then Chiefs, Bills again, Jets, which was not easy for them, and it won't be easy for them then.
Yeah.
And then the easier games are like Commanders, Colts, but those are still teams that can play. Chargers, like this is a hard schedule.
Yeah.
If you lose to the Raiders this week, maybe you start looking at Caleb Williams. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You're 1-4, and you'll be 1-5 if you lose the Raiders. Maybe you go for Caleb Williams. I'm just saying, like, like.
No,
but Bill's never going to purposely tank. I don't even think Kraft would purposefully tank.
I don't even think it's a purposely I mean, that schedule's fucked, man.
Yeah, no, it is fucked. Yeah. I mean, the Patriots, they're built like the Jets, honestly. Like they have a good defense and nothing else.
Not in the last 2 games.
I mean,
well, again, when you have a shitty offense, it doesn't matter how good your defense is because they're on the field the whole goddamn time.
Yeah. Plus, the other side, the Saints actually played very well, and the Saints have a good defense.
Yeah.
So Kamara came back, 80 yards and a touchdown.
Dude. I still think the Saints are going to win that division, but we'll see.
I do too, yeah.
They should, yeah. I mean, they're supposed to, really.
Yeah, I think they still will.
Unless Mayfield just comes out and keeps balling, man.
True, yeah.
It is true. All right, we spent too much time on the Patriots. We got to move on.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't even really care about the Patriots. I'm not gonna lie.
There's less game. It's bye week, so there's
that's
less.
True. There are less games.
Yeah, true.
We had Colts Titans.
It went about it exactly as I feel like I would have expected this game to go. Close, 1-score game, divisional. Like, I mean, Colts pulled it out, and Tennessee just couldn't get there, which is just the Tennessee story, man. Just couldn't quite get there. That's been their life the last like 6 years.
And Gardner Minshew came in 11-14, 155. But Zach Moss ran for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
Minshew
I would say
looks good. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I was saying last year, I think, why hasn't anyone given Minshew like a full chance? Like, I feel like he's still yet to. Like, he's always been a backup since he's been drafted.
He's always good. Like, he always comes in and he's never bad. Like, maybe he's not blowing anyone out of the water, but like, he's doing just enough. He's looking good. He completes stuff. He doesn't really make mistakes.
He's like unequivocally like the best backup in the league, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna get his chance.
I think it's still probably Dalton, though, to be honest. But
Dalton, I mean, we'll give Minshew a couple more games, man. Every time I see him,
I like Minshew too. Yeah, no, I do agree.
Well, now Richardson's gonna be out for weeks, so this is the Minshew chance. Like, we're gonna see
show.
Yeah.
And interestingly, Minshew was available as a free agent in the offseason. You wouldn't even have to give up draft capital to have gotten him. It would have been so it's not even like he's expensive. It's amazing that teams wouldn't have done that. I don't know. But it's not like that you run into issues with having a backup QB or anything like that.
Yeah, no. The Titans, man, they just 1 week they're just like, we're back, and then the next week they're like, never mind. It's been like that for years. Like,
it's the Tannehill effect, man. I keep fucking saying it. Like I feel like a broken fucking record with half these teams because every week it's the same shit. Like, you are not good enough. Why did you go out and sign a big wide receiver? You did not have the keys. You went out and bought a fucking car without. I don't know. There's a metaphor there somewhere, but you cart before the horse.
in defense of the QBs here, and in this case with Tannehill, the team is built around getting Derrick Henry the ball, right? And pretty much in games where Derrick Henry does poorly, the team loses. Like that's just kind of how
that
the
is
Titans have been for
not
years.
like this league does not exist then for that, like or that kind of play style does not exist in this league. You cannot have a running back be the star of the show anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, it was working for them for the past couple of years.
It hasn't been. Like they barely like look good, and they win a shitty division that's been so ass for so long. And now the division is slightly less ass. They're losing. Like it hasn't been working.
And, I mean, hey, making the playoffs, I'd take that.
I mean, they make the playoffs, but then they lose right away. And it's like, well,
true. But I mean, again, it's like over 10 years. All right, just saying.
Hey man, Rodgers says he's gonna come back at like week 8. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just still think that's insane.
I mean, there was a photo. Actually, there was a photo of him already working out last week before this last week's games. Was him working out with like a agility band. So
like, I don't understand. Does he have access to like future nanotechnology?
I have no idea how that's even possible. Yeah, seriously. Like I don't. So I mean, maybe it is. Maybe whatever new technique they use, fucking.
Are they gonna win like a science Nobel Prize or some shit?
Maybe.
Like,
I mean, again, it wouldn't be that unprecedented. There are a lot of injuries that used to be season ending or career ending, but then have now become like a couple of week injuries. But still, I mean. Yeah, it would be dramatic.
I legit want him to do it just to see the like insane takes from like everybody. Yeah. It would be insane. Like everyone's like, I think he's gonna retire. He's like, no, I'm coming back week 8.
Yeah, like, it'd be so funny if he walks back out and it just snaps again.
Oh, that would be the worst. Yeah,
that would be terrible. Honestly, I
don't want that to happen, but it would be funny.
I just want to see him like play with the Jets. Like that's all I want.
Me too. That would be nice. but also like the when it first happened on the Jets subreddit, people were saying they're using this new technique which they used on these couple of these 25-year-old basketball athletes and it took them 6 months. So I don't know, man. What the fuck? He's nearly 40. If he could do it in fucking 8 weeks.
Yeah. Dude's gonna have like a scientific journal thing written up on.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
But, yeah, Minshew, good. Titans, not good.
Yeah.
That's all I really got to say about this game. Otherwise, it was just your classic divisional matchup.
Well, we should mention, by the way, that on the Colts, Zach Moss had 7 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. Minshew didn't even really have to do almost anything, even though he did look good. I mean, he looked
look at
good.
That stat line's not crazy, but 11 for 14 and 155, that's like a sneaky good stat line because, you're like doing everything right.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely solid. But I mean, look, Zach Moss again, like 165 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 point.
We also didn't even say Jonathan Taylor played in this game.
Yeah, he came back.
That's true.
But like they were like, hey man, like Zach Moss is kind of like.
I mean, he's balling out.
He's taking your job, man. Like I don't know what to say.
The thing is, like in this NFL like style, like having 2 good running backs is kind of the thing to do.
Yeah, if you can do it, I mean,
if you can do it. So I mean, honestly, I think it's gonna come down to Colts, Jaguars, and I mean, if Minshew can do this, then I'm a full Minshew believer. I'm kind of cheering for him.
How fucked up is Anthony Richardson?
Grade 3
like
AC sprain.
Month,
right. Okay.
So probably a month minimum.
Yeah, it's rough.
Unless
I mean, I think Minshew could hold down the fort, especially if they get that kind of running game. Right, going.
Yeah. So we'll see. But next up, Ravens Steelers. And can I just say, all right, I need to get my mini Lamar Jackson fantasy football rant in here. Can the Ravens catch the ball? Do they know how to catch the ball? I swear to God, there's there's just two throws to the end zone. They just dropped it.
He hits him on the hands too.
Yeah, he literally hit him on the hands. There's like whoopsies. Oh, luckily we won't lose by a touchdown, so it doesn't matter. Oh,
this game is so funny. I can't process the fact. I cannot begin to describe to the people listening at home how ridiculous it is that the Steelers won this game. The Steelers had 3 points for the first 3 quarters. They had no offense.
Yeah.
When you go to team stats, the Ravens have more yards, more passing yards, more rushing yards, more yards per play. Like everything. More, they ran more plays. Like
even the score is deceptive because it was like it was a safety, like 2 field goals, the touchdown.
You look at it, it's like 0-3-0-14. Oh, that's normal, right? They just scored 2 touchdowns. No, it is not normal.
Yeah. No, it was
apparently first time that combination has ever happened too, according to stats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me actually. That's such a weird stat line.
Yeah.
If this game went the way it was supposed to, and the Ravens receivers actually caught the balls, it would have been like 30-3. Like it would have been close. It would have been a fucking blowout and a half, which is why I locked it, because that's what should have happened. The Ravens are the better team.
Yep.
The Steelers are terrible,
They're in
but
first place.
First place and third overall in the AFC.
Yeah.
What the it's okay, maybe voodoo magic does exist, but just for this team, because they should not be 3-2. They shouldn't be 3. It's insane. They have like literally like bottom like 30-32 in so many offensive statistics. It's insane. This team is 3-2.
Dude, from the outside looking in, I see Steelers fans calling for Tomlin's head and stuff again this year, and I'm like, I'm just waiting until
not winning this game. These are not wins. Tomlin's not winning these.
You
know who's winning these? Highsmith, Watt, Pickens. The players are winning these games. The coaches are not doing shit in these games, dude. I'm sorry.
That's fair, but all I'm saying is by week 17, he's not going to break his fucking record again, and then people are going to be like, well, all right, I guess so.
The magic's going to run out. You cannot win. Like, this is different from even last year. Like, you cannot win games like this for a whole season. It's not going to work. Like,
yeah.
I've been saying to you guys, like, more in the private Discord we have, that like the issue with the Steelers defense is that it's a very I think it's still the most expensive defense. It has all these great players, but when it comes down to normal shit, they do a bad job. When it's like, hey, don't let them run the ball for like 12 yards a play. Don't let them get wide open receivers for 20-yard passes. Like the reason the Ravens should have won this game is because they were dicing the defense up until the point where it was like, hey, catch the ball and get the touchdown. That's the part that they fucked up. Otherwise, they were just marching down the field over and over and over. And that's not good. You can't rely on TJ Watt being a freak every single game, or Highsmith or Minkah Fitzpatrick or whoever. You just can't. That's why some of our games are like 30-3. As we lost to the Texans like 30-3, lost to the Niners like 30-3. Like I get the Niners are good, but like we should have lost the Niners like, I don't know, like 17-3. You know what I mean? Not 30-3. This is not sustainable in the slightest, and all of the problems I mentioned last week are still there. Matt Canada is still employed, which is insane. I was really hoping that this was the week I could come onto the podcast and be like, he's gone, we're saved.
Which, by the way, could we mention that Matt Canada, when they scored the game-winning touchdown, just looked like he went through a war?
I'm so conflicted. Like everyone made fun of that, and then for some reason there's this huge backlash about it. Like, what? Oh, he's just focused. Like, actually, you guys are so stupid. He doesn't look weird at all, bro. What fucking person? Show me a single video of a coordinator or anyone not celebrating a fucking game-winning touchdown. Are you kidding me? Who does that? What are you talking about? Oh, he had to call a 2-point conversion, so he was focused. No, you can't pump your fist or like look around and high five one fucking person. Like, are you kidding me? Dude looked scared. Like at the end of the clip, someone bumps into him and he's like, oh, he like turns around like no, that is not normal behavior. It isn't.
Like you're literally coordinating a team's offense, and your offense succeeds and takes the lead, and you're just like, yep. like what? It's mind blowing.
Anyway, he's still not fired. It still fucking sucks. Who do we even play next week? Or no, we buy next week, but who do we play after that? It's the Rams, which I'll be picking the Rams in that one. I'll tell you that right now. I have zero confidence, but hey, who knows? Maybe TJ Watt will get 73 sacks in one game and we'll win. We'll win 3-0.
Could be.
So There you go. And the Ravens, also just classic Ravens. Then we had the Lions and the Panthers. And dude, Lions are just the team I'm rooting for this year. I love the Lions. Let's go.
Yeah.
They're so fun to watch.
They really are.
Everything I want my team to be and is the Lions. It's every football team should look at the Lions and be like, that's what I want my team to be.
Just you've got Dan Campbell just biting kneecaps. He's calling like crazy trick plays and shit. They're like snapping it through Goff's legs. They're like doing like flea flicker to flea flicker, and like it's oh my god, it's so fun.
Goff is so good at those, by the way. The one like there was one 2 weeks ago, right, where he fooled the fake non-handoff so well that he drew a penalty from unnecessary roughness because they really thought he had it.
Yep.
I mean, he really is so good at those acting plays, which makes sense because he does seem like he's Ryan Gosling from a different universe who stepped into our universe by accident and became a professional football player. So yeah, no, I mean the team is actually just fun to watch. Again, it's like it's the offense actually trying to win the game instead of trying not to lose. You know what I mean?
They got like a little bit of like NFC Dolphins going on where they're just kind of cruising.
Yeah.
It's just like go score as many fucking points as you can, just go out there and do everything you need to do to win. Like it's this is what football is now, is the Lions, and other teams need to catch the fuck up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
I agree, honestly.
Jared Goff is like, this is probably the best he's looked like ever. I mean, even with the Rams, he wasn't bad, but like he's evolved into like his true Detroit Lion Jared Goff form now. Like he's got 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,200 yards, and he's got a 70% completion percentage. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta. Woo.
Dude, Sam Laporta. That's
seriously.
I've seen it's funny because everyone memes the Lions and Vikings because they traded what's his name, the old Lions tight end, TJ Hawkinson, to the Vikings, and when he went there, he was like, "It's going to be fun to win some games." Like he literally said that. So now, ever since he's gotten there, the Vikings have just kind of been really mediocre to bad, and now the Lions like start winning. So it's funny. Yeah. He was like it was like a weird curse thing, but Sam Laporta looks insane, like an actual insane tight end.
So, I mean, it seems like he's gonna be the next super tight end.
Yeah, he's the next like Kittle, Kelsey type thing. Like he's that good, and he's just in a good offense for that to happen. So then David Montgomery, dude, 109 yards and a touchdown, 19 carries. Yeah, dude's a bowling ball. And the Panthers are bad.
Yeah. Although, hey, Adam Thielen continues to ball out, which I'm excited for as I have him on fantasy. And he was one of my sleeper picks, including Alvin Kamara, who also did well this week.
Yeah.
I want to say that.
I do think the Panthers are going to win some games. I don't think they're going to go 0-17. Like, they play the Texans, they play the Bears. I mean, they play the AFC South.
And also, I think Bryce Young is being too unfairly compared to CJ Stroud. He's not doing that bad. I honestly, I don't think Bryce Young is having that horrible of a, rookie season.
He's definitely the big difference is just the interceptions. Like CJ Stroud has not thrown an interception yet, which is insane.
Yeah,
and
but it's also record breaking.
Really bad interception, like bad ones.
Yeah. But important to note, CJ Stroud is breaking records for that, right? Like it is a unique situation. So like most QBs.
Oh, I'm not out on Bryce Young. There's a clear winner in this draft so far.
True.
Up to this point.
I think that's why they're getting compared so harshly, is because it was like they had the option to pick either one and they picked Bryce Young.
I mean, you're looking at like the Panthers who sold their entire next 6 years for Bryce Young, and then you have the Texans who didn't. And
in fact, the Texans are like, we'll take this really good defensive guy and we'll take CJ Stroud.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. Well, we'll see how it plays out in the future in the long run.
Yeah. Speaking of the Texans.
Speaking of the Texans, they
lost. Yeah, they lost. But it wasn't CJ Stroud's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud went down, scored a go-ahead touchdown, and then the defense went and lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Pierce ran for 66 on 20 carries, pretty average. Dalton Schultz, 65 and a touchdown. But yeah, the Falcons, Desmond Ridder, 28 at 37, 329 and a touchdown. Bijan Robinson, only 46 yards. Not as much.
Yep.
Kyle Pitts, dude, we have a Kyle Pitts sighting. Remember him?
Yeah,
87
Oh,
yards.
yeah. Forgot about him.
Yeah, 11 targets.
Yeah, look at that.
Something throw to Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then the only now Falcons are 3-2. So like the NFC
Yeah.
South, actually pretty competitive aside from the Panthers.
I seriously do not have a good read on the Falcons at all. Like,
It is very
I
weird.
really don't. Yeah, I don't know
I think they are actually bad. I don't think they're good, but that's my read, and I'm not right all the time. So
they're just a weird team. They give me like Titans vibes where they can beat anybody and lose to anybody.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I could kind of feel that too with them.
They're very
weird,
like run
man.
heavy. Ritter's like, I don't think he's good, but he's not bad. He can like do what he needs to. I don't know. They're weird.
Yeah.
we'll
We'll see.
pick this
I mean,
game this way specifically because I think people were like way too high on the Texans after last week. They were like, "Well, they
Yeah.
beat the Steelers so much." It's like, bro, you guys don't know the Steelers like I do. Like this team's not that good.
The thing is, like,
And-
the football ends up being a week to week, like, what have you done for me lately type of thing. Like, you can have one week where it's like, this team's the worst, sell everybody. And then the next week they win. And you're like, do you think we could, like, put it together and go on a playoff run? It's like, dude, you just lost. Last week, you're like, let's have a fire sale. And this week, you're like, I think we can make a playoff run. Like, it's just the amount of, like, stock selling. Like, dude, buy, sell, buy, sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's
There's
just,
a reason my team is 3-2, and I'm like, we need to die, all of us together.
yeah.
yeah. Speaking of that, the New York Giants played a football game.
Oh,
It's arguable, really.
It is.
Daniel Jones was yet again completely murdered, sacked
Yep.
7 times.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
And
I mean,
got hurt.
Yeah,
So-
well, that'll happen.
That will happen when you get sacked 7 times. Tyreek Hill had 181 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Waddle had a touchdown. Achane ran for 151 and a touchdown. Mostert had 65 yards and a touchdown. And the Dolphins are a good team.
Didn't Achane get injured?
He
though?
did. He's going to miss weeks. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
bad.
that's tough.
But he did go out on 13.7 yards per carry. So
Which is
I
pretty
mean,
good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
You're looking at the what I mean. I think is probably the best team in the AFC. Even though they lost to the Bills, I think that they
Yeah.
just when they win so hard.
Yeah, they're that team where like they had the ball for 24 minutes and the Giants had it for about 36 minutes and it just doesn't matter because when they get the ball they score in like 5 plays and they're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
It's new football, man. It's the same as the Lions. Young
Yeah.
head coach. They're doing all the right things. They're just this is what football is now. You better get used to it.
And
I
Tua,
do feel I want to bring it up again is that I just do not understand the Giants roster construction
Yep.
at all.
I
you
don't
know?
understand how this team made the playoffs last year.
I mean-
that is insane.
I think important to note, last year they had Saquon the whole year, and this year Saquon went out early in the season, right? So
Did they have them all last year?
I
yeah,
don't
they had
know if
him.
They did.
Not all of it, but the majority of last year Saquon was playing. He was upright. I think that was the longest he played was last year.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. He started 16 games, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Yep.
Yeah. So it was that is largely why they've made the playoffs. And then that's the thing is that Saquon is like pretty much the only playmaker besides like Daniel Jones that's really doing anything on the field, in
Mhm.
any given game. And Daniel
Yeah.
Jones, I look, I think he's probably has an unfair shot in the media. I don't know how
Yeah.
poorly he's received, but I mean, their team just it's a barren wasteland on offense. And
Yeah.
I don't know. You had the coach of the year last year. You won that award. Why not give him the offensive guy that you took from Buffalo? Why not give him more weapons? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Literally just star running back Eric Gray.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Darren Waller's their leading receiver. Then you had like Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, Isaiah Hodgins, Wandale Robinson.
Yeah, no disrespect to those guys, but I mean, I'm just saying, like there's free agency in the NFL and stuff, and
whoa, free agency.
Shut the hell up. we stick to our boys, all right? Family, something. Yeah. I think we all forgot that the Giants were supposed to go into a rebuilding phase, and we kind of got pranked last year, is what it seems like. They mega pranked.
We were pranked. But somehow
they were rebuilding.
They beat the Vikings. Which, now looking at that,
they got Saquon the year that we got Darnold, because I remember that was the big story, right? So that was them beginning that rebuild, and they've been doing it with Daniel Jones. It's just they stopped. It feels like, they were just like, oh yeah, good enough. We made the playoffs last year, and yep, good to go. I think we'll be good on offense. And it's like, what have you seen the NFL?
Even week 1, they had Saquon. They lost 40-0.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, again, it's like when you have a team that's built around a running back, if the running back doesn't do well, then the team basically loses, right? That's generally those running back heavy teams. The old ground and pound Jets in 09 and 10. That was the thing. We had a bad running game, we lost.
Ground pound. Yeah, so they're bad. Then we had the Bengals Cardinals.
The Bengals are back.
The Bengals have
arrived.
Bengals
are back in town. The Bengals are back.
Burrow looks like he's healing for real now. I think.
Yeah, I think he's healing. Jamar
Chase
was
moving around way better.
Oh yeah, he definitely looked a bit more like old Burrow. 36 of 46, 317, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. A lot of that to Jamar Chase, who had 192 yards and 3 touchdowns. I guess
that's not bad. I mean,
he
could have done that.
Yeah, last week when he was like, "I'm fucking open," I guess he was right. He was open.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed it?
I mean, I was really avoiding jumping on the Bengals or bad train because I think it is people do. Everyone shit talks their team when they lose, no matter how good they are. It's hilarious.
True.
Everyone is guilty of that. And it's very funny how people were like, Joe Burrow isn't good anymore. He was never good. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Dude went to the Super Bowl. Like, are you okay?
It actually is insane the amount of just like emotional reaction people have to just like one loss or just like one bad game, or they're just like, I knew he was just trash. It's like, what are you talking about?
I can't imagine people getting emotional over their team losing. I don't know who would do that. You know what I mean? That's just stupid.
Crazy.
But can we also say that Jamar Chase had 19 fucking targets on this game?
It is insane.
That's like a running back carry amount for the day. That's absurd.
Teams need to learn to throw to their player that's good.
Oh,
whoa,
I agree.
I gotta get a pad out. Throw to players that's good. All right.
It's weird that like George Pickens, had like 130 yards, had one of his best days because he was thrown to, which is like, hey, throw to the player. You have them for a reason.
Yeah.
They're there. You should throw to them.
And honestly, the Cardinals were in this game for a while, to be honest. Like I tuned it on. Like they had a chance where they were driving and they could have like tied the game, but they just didn't do it. And then after that, they kind of fell apart. But like they were still hanging in there. So
yeah. I mean, the Cardinals, we should mention, are like, despite the fact that they're clearly bad and they're gonna have good draft position at the end of the year, I think they're putting on like a pretty competitive showing most games.
I think
they are the best 1-4 team.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I agree too.
Yeah,
I would say that.
And I think Josh Dobbs is actually playing into a good next contract. If we're being honest, I think he's putting on a show that's like, I'm definitely one of the best backups in the league, if not like worthy of a starting position somewhere.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. He's definitely shown that he's at least a backup, like 100%.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, honestly, this team's 2-3 if they don't choke to the Giants, which I still don't know how they did. But maybe they turned on the tanking sensors. You gotta blow this one.
Yeah.
But there you go, Bengals back on track. Then we had the Eagles, who are 5-0, taking down the Rams.
So annoying because I picked the Rams and they were like in the game for the whole game.
Yep.
Like this was a close game. I
Yeah,
know
17-14 at halftime.
It just they had so many chances at the end of the game to win too, and they just could not get it done. And what scares me about the Eagles is that this is now like the second or third time I've watched them have a lead and then just go, you're never seeing this fucking ball again. Like they just the Eagles had 38 minutes to 22 minutes time of possession. Like they get the ball and then they just go, they like it's perfect. They get like 3 yards, 3.5 yards first down, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3.5 yards. Just the whole way down, they had just hold on to the ball, and they're like that's old school basically. Like, and I do hate it, but it's working when you're, I guess, the Eagles. So
I mean, that's old school Patriot shit. That's the Tom Brady dink and dunk.
When teams play conservative, like it never looks like this. It's always dog shit, like run. Oh, we didn't get it, guys. I guess we got to punt it away. I mean, we're up like 14 points. Nothing bad could happen. But no, the Eagles they get it done. They actually get the first downs.
By the way, Jalen Hurts ran 15 times for 72 yards and a touchdown. Like 15 quarterback carries. That's insane.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't look like he hurts himself too bad on his running too, which is good. It's good to see.
It's just they're so hard to stop. Like this really does feel like it's giant. It's not Giants. It's 49ers, Eagles, Lions. Like that's the NFC. That's what it feels like. Like nobody else is even close.
There is no one else who's even close.
I wonder how the Eagles are going to not win the division this year, because that's gonna be
it'll be interesting. The magic
something's gonna have to happen. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Like maybe it's gonna be like that. The team that plane crashed in the Andes. All the Eagles are gonna have to eat each other or something.
They're gonna fly through the Bermuda Triangle. They all vanish.
They
were gonna win the division, then they just vanish.
Well, I mean, here, the thing is, the Eagles, they seem good, but they got a real tough matchup next week. So I don't know if they're going to be able to maintain this 5-0 streak.
They do play the unbeatable New York Jets.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just impossible.
All right. I was really trying to figure out what the next, I was clicking to like down to their Reddit, like, what's the next Eagles game? It's clearly someone dog shit.
yeah. But the Rams, the Cooper Kupp came back and had 118 yards.
Yeah.
He looked like Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. And Puka Nacua had 71 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they basically split targets and it worked out great. Like they've got a solid receiving core now.
Like they're 2-3, but I could see them like being a wild card contender.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see how it plays out. But Eagles, man, let's keep rolling.
Eagles, yeah.
Then we had Jets Broncos.
We did, which was a win.
Yeah.
So I'll take those. I like the wins. The wins are good. It wasn't
pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't. We wouldn't call it a sexy win. But hey, here's the thing about the Jets is that Breece Hall is very good.
Yes.
And
they found the run game this game.
Well, okay, so before the game, we should mention that Saleh said to the media, we're taking Breece Hall off a pitch count this game, so we should be, so we don't have to worry. And then Breece Hall was like, I didn't know I was on a pitch count. And, well, what do you know? Breece Hall is good at football, because if you hand him the ball 22 times, which is the most amount that they've handed it to him this year, I think, so far, he has 8 yards per carry, 177 yards, and a touchdown. He's the kind of running back where, you're not necessarily going to rely on him to get you 4 yards every time you run the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's the type of running back that's like every 3 or 4 runs, he might just run down the field, you know? And man, it's fun to watch. It's good. It's fun watching a good running back. I will say that. I do enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
The passing game was fine.
I mean, Zach Wilson, he did throw one pick, but it wasn't really his fault. It was one of those, where it hit the guy on the hand, and then it's not that big of a deal. He had a good completion percentage, which, to be honest, is what I'm looking for. If we can do this kind of thing, be the Derrick Henry team or the, whatever we were just talking about, the running back type teams, where it's like, all right, just give Breece Hall the ball. Then Breece ball. We're basically playing Breece ball.
Yep.
And then if you have to throw it, then just force it to Garrett Wilson in any way that you can. Yeah. And then that's it. That's the team. That's fine. I'll live with that.
And honestly, if they had Aaron Rodgers, that'd be very good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, imagine Aaron Rodgers able to actually get the ball to Garrett Wilson.
They'd be like undefeated if they had Aaron Rodgers.
Probably, yeah.
Dude, with Breece like this, right?
Imagine Aaron Rodgers. The funniest part before he got injured was they're like, Breece Hall for 30 yards. All right, let's not do that again.
Right. Like, okay. Yeah. Well, again, it was because he was on a pitch count and they didn't tell him, and then they didn't really tell anybody.
Got Aaron Rodgers injured. You heard it here first.
Yeah, no, like that one game, that was when Breece sent his salty tweet where he tweeted 4 football emojis, and it was because he had 4 carries in the game. They just didn't tell him. And again, it's just like this kind of like simple coaching miscommunication is like, why even do that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Why be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna keep you, sitting a little bit because you're coming back from an injury. Why not just tell him?
No, you can't do that. Communication? No.
Yeah. Well, either way, Breece Hall is very good. The Broncos,
bad.
Not good. Yeah, no, they're not good.
Sorry, Sean Payton. I was gonna rhyme, but I didn't really have anything. You're bad. You're not good anymore.
I mean, I do want to say I am very much enjoying the fact that Nathaniel Hackett beat Sean Payton in this game. Considering he said, of course, infamously, that was the worst coaching job ever.
Yep.
So he's the now 1-4 Broncos, lost to the Jets, lost to the Nathaniel Hackett offensively coordinated Jets.
Yep.
Which, by the way, the offensive game plan still is not it's not really amazing, but hey, again, a dub's a dub. So we'll take those. And again, like I said, Zach Wilson didn't really look that bad. He didn't. It wasn't. He's not Pat Mahomes, but
yeah,
I'll take these kinds of games. You know what I mean? If he plays like this, that's fine. Yeah. As long as it's not. Although, again, I want to say, because this was the thing that I was psyched about last week and not in this one, is they went right back to Zach Wilson. I'm terrified every time, like the coaches are terrified every time they call a pass play. So they call the most conservative play every time. Yeah. And it's just boring, but that's fine. I mean, again, he did what he had to in the game. So I'm happy with that. So yeah.
On the fun side here for the Denver Broncos, we have a chart here. Which is the 2024 effective salary cap space versus win percentage. And there's one of those teams that is not doing well, that is not having a good salary cap. And can you guess who it is? It's the Denver Broncos.
What the fuck is going wrong with the Saints' cap? What happened?
Yeah, they're like 90 million. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
It's because Michael Thomas is back and Alvin Kamara is back. So it's like a lot of the old veterans from when the team was like good are coming back. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of working out. They are winning. So
they are winning.
Seeing the Lions and Eagles have that much cap space is gonna make me end my life. Actually, like,
I mean, seeing the
Niners,
yeah, look at that. They have again. When I was looking it over the cap last week, they have the most fucking cap room in the league.
That's not. I mean, that's because they're not paying their quarterback. Remember, that's like the most expensive part of the puzzle.
Yep.
I wonder what he's gonna do, or his agent, right? Like, because I feel like after this year, you can come to them, and especially if he plays well, the rest of this year,
or even like get a Super Bowl or something.
I mean, if he does well in the playoffs, like
if he had a decent agent, he would go to the organization and be like, "Hey, can we renegotiate this?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, he's being paid basically the minimum contract right now for the NFL.
Yeah.
So, like, even the undrafted free agents get better deals than the Mr. Irrelevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's at a 4-year, $3.7 million deal. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of money again for normal people, but for the NFL, that's cheap as shit.
Yeah.
It is the cheapest as shit. You can't get any cheaper.
Like, reminder, shitty Cleveland quarterback's making $250 million guaranteed. And he's not doing what Brock Purdy's doing.
Nope.
No.
So just that's insane.
Yeah.
That is wild. Or did I say per year? He's making $250 million over a span still, which is insane.
Yeah, well, it was all guaranteed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all guaranteed.
All guaranteed.
All guaranteed. Just elf.
Which
just
and that's
elf
the other
things.
thing too is that Purdy's contract, none of it is guaranteed. It's not guaranteed at all. So that's what I'm saying. Like after this, I feel like, and the Niners as an organization, I feel like should maybe even reach out and be like, hey, I know, but I mean, we should pay a little more, right? I mean,
They should.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
I don't know.
Especially with all that cap space.
Yeah.
So the Broncos are kind of in a shitty situation, I would say.
Kinda. Yeah.
A little bit.
Russell Wilson didn't look horrible in the game, though.
Yeah, he looked all right. Like he did 20 at 31, 196, 2 touchdowns. McLaughlin, who I put on fantasy, he actually had a good game.
He did, yeah.
In fact, I think he's one of their bright spots because he's a rookie. He's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
But just, man, their defense is so bad. Like, it's insane how bad it is. Like, they gave up 31 to the Jets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in fairness, I don't remember a lot of this game muddied, kind of is clouded in my mind, but I'm pretty sure the score doesn't really reflect how we scored a lot of our points.
Oh, wasn't it? One was like a fumble.
We had a safety. Yeah, we had a couple of things like that. Yeah. Which, by the way, 2 straight weeks that we've had a safety, which I think was some kind of record. I don't think a team or we've never done it or something. I don't know.
We got a safety this week too. Safeties for all the teams with terrible offense. You guys get safeties. That's the only way you're gonna win your game.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I'm trying to see points allowed this year. Oh my god. So Jesus. So the worst team is the Broncos, giving up 36 points per game.
Oh god.
I don't even know if the Chiefs could win those games, or maybe the Dolphins could win those.
Well, keep in mind there's a 70-point game.
There is the 70-point game.
Right. That's and it's a sample of 5, so
that's true.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty bad.
It's bad.
Washington's giving up 32 a game. The Bears give up 31. The Giants give up 30. Those are the 5 worst defenses in terms of points given up.
Yeah, speaking of funny stats, I linked this to you guys yesterday, but the Steelers, who are 3rd in the AFC, just keep in mind 3rd in the AFC, have like a negative 33-point differential.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
no. I mean,
something.
you were pointing that out to me pre-podcast last week, I think, where I was like, yeah, the AFC seems pretty stacked, and then you were like, yeah, there's only like 3 teams though, and you're right. Like the AFC's not actually that stacked this year. Like it's really like
Chiefs,
1 or 2
Dolphins, Bills.
That's it. Yeah, Bills. Yeah,
and then that's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, right?
It was supposed to, and I said this. It was supposed to be the AFC North, but all 4 of those teams all suck. So the Bengals might not suck anymore, though. We'll give them another couple
That's
weeks.
a good point.
They'll probably
That's
start
true.
getting
That's
rolling.
true.
And then the Jets were supposed to be really good.
True. Yeah.
And honestly, the Chargers, they're still the dark horse team that can they can beat anybody, and then they'll lose to like the Broncos.
Right.
So that's Chargers football at its finest. So then we had which, by the way, the Broncos are just probably in the worst situation in the NFL. You just gave your draft picks to get Sean Payton, who sucks. You have Russell Wilson. You have all the cap space. You traded all these picks, and you suck.
Do they? Well, hey, they still have a first round pick though. They
do have a first round pick this year, so that is
currently
a thing.
looking at Tankathon. They are third right now in the draft order. So, but then they don't have a second.
Yeah, it's still bad. Because they're not supposed to be tanking. They're supposed to be winning. It's just the main thing here. The Chiefs beat the Vikings, who fall to 1-4, and honestly are not in a good spot at all.
Jefferson out.
Yeah.
It is time to sell Kirk. Goodbye, Kirk Cousins. It is,
I do think,
it is time. It's just time.
Yeah.
With Jefferson out, it's all but guaranteed. We were saying that, maybe like they could. No, now it's over. You need to sell. Sell.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If they do that, then they should trade Jefferson too, because he's already what?
Caleb
in his
Williams.
third year? Yeah, but Jefferson's in his third year, right? Of his rookie.
I think so, but still, like, even if you get like a young quarterback, you're just like throw the ball to Jefferson and that's it. Like, you keep him just so you can, like,
But you keep him. You only have him for a season, maybe two.
Well,
right?
they're gonna resign him after that, right? Like they have.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If you're gonna trade Cousins, you're going for a rebuild, right? A full ass rebuild. So you might as well.
I think it would
drop
depend on
Jefferson
because
too.
of the Williams thing, right? If you think you have like a star quarterback in the draft that you can get, right?
Yeah.
Then
Well,
maybe you keep Jefferson. If you don't
but
think you can
here's the
get that,
thing.
you don't keep Jefferson.
But look at Kirk Cousins. It's not like QB is the major problem of this team,
Yeah, their
right?
defense is the main
Yeah.
issue, and then they can't run the ball. Their offensive line.
Yeah,
not
like
the
Kirk
greatest.
Cousins is having like top 10 statistical years right now, but they're still
True, but I
fucking
guess-
getting their asses kicked.
It's more about the money than you get.
Yeah, I mean, you do get the cheap rookie QB, less than Kirk Cousins' fully guaranteed contract, but I don't know.
Also, I just want to see Kirk Cousins on a team that can actually win. Is more where I'm at.
yeah,
He like he's only on a 1-year deal right now, isn't he?
yeah. I think it was an extension of the guaranteed contract.
They extended him
right?
1 year, $35 million, locking him in for this season. So I mean,
Yeah,
if anything, that's the reason to trade him, is because he's probably gone after this season, unless he really loves Minnesota and wants to stay there. But
yeah.
like,
I mean, he does seem the type,
he does seem the type.
right?
I don't think you can trade Justin Jefferson. Like, that man literally is your team. I'd say he's maybe more important than the quarterback at this rate, because he has like the Devontae Adams, like those insane receivers where they can just like turn any like mediocre quarterback into like a good quarterback as well. By just like throw it up to him in like triple coverage, you'll probably get it.
As a fan of a team who has had bad quarterback play for a while, I will tell you that if you have one of those star players and you have bad quarterback play, then they're no longer your star player. They're demanding a trade to go to some other team that is actually good. So, I mean, yeah, like, I could totally, like, maybe they do that and maybe that happens, but I don't know. I could totally see Justin Jefferson in a year or two being like, yeah, trade me, or being like, okay, you extended me, but I'm done. So I don't know if they're going to go the direction of trading Kirk Cousins. I think you have to, I think you can't, to quote Michael Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad, no more half measures, Walter. You got to go all the way.
You can't be on the Vikings, Walter. They don't win, Walter.
Yeah, no, seriously, like it's. I do think like because I think that's the problem with the Patriots.
You
I think
lost
that's what
to
they
the
did.
Giants in the playoffs, Walter.
You did a half measure, Bill, when you should have went all the way. And that's really seriously what happened. I do think that with the Patriots. So I think if they do decide to do that, trade Cousins, then just accept it, right? You're in full rebuild mode.
Yeah.
And Jefferson's gonna want out anyway. So
It's
because he's a star.
Yeah. It's a weird situation because the Vikings were supposed to be like competing for the division. Like, you just lost in the playoffs, but it was like, okay, you know what? Maybe we just fill some of those, problematic gaps, like the defense, get the draft, whatever. And then they come out and they just are 1-4, and then Jefferson's hurt. So, like, are you going to win without Jefferson? So it's like, and then Cousins is 35 and he's on a 1-year deal. So, like, you going to re-sign him, or is he's probably going to go somewhere else? So it's like, well, if you trade him, then you're like rebuilding, but you're in a situation where you didn't think you were rebuilding. And now
Right.
it's just it's tricky. Like, I don't know. And quite honestly, I don't care because they're in my division and I'm already dealing with my own shit.
I got my own problems.
Yeah, not my problem. Also, the Chiefs are a football team that wins with Taylor Swift. The big thing here was Kelsey.
She wasn't there.
She wasn't there, though. Kelsey got
didn't
hurt.
need to be.
Kelsey
Did get hurt.
He had a low ankle sprain, which I guess is better than the high ankle sprain. And
Yeah.
it seems like he might play somehow. I don't know, dude.
Wow.
These are like superhumans.
Dude,
don't know.
I will say too with the Chiefs is one, Isaiah Pacheco's having a great year.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't look amazing in this game. But two, Travis Kelsey, I realized yesterday that he's 34. Like I actually didn't realize that
Yeah.
he was that. So he's probably not going to be in the league that much longer, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
right,
no,
most-
he's getting up there.
Yeah, so I don't know what the Chiefs are going to do. They're getting very depleted on offense, I feel, and now that Kelsey is out, I think they're going to have some hard times going forward.
He's not out.
I mean, Crendor did just say that he might.
He
come
literally
back,
came
but I
back
mean-
and played in the game.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
but I
saying
mean-
if you tape up the ankle the day of the injury, it's not as bad. It's just when it starts swelling the next day is when it gets real bad. So
Yeah.
it's like it all just depends. But then they're
Well-
like, he's at practice today an hour ago. He's feeling a little better. We're going to see how it goes. So it seems like it's just going to be because they play Thursday.
They play. Oh yeah, okay. Then he's probably if it's Thursday, he probably won't
Yeah.
play. But it's the Broncos. They don't really need him.
They don't need him for
mean,
that. Yeah, I'd rather just
They
rest
don't
him.
need him. for
Who's
the
the number
Broncos.
2 receiver?
It doesn't matter. It's the Broncos.
I mean, it
It's
is,
the Broncos.
and it is Pat Mahomes, but still, I mean, I'm just saying, like, Kelsey is a star receiver, and pretty much their only star receiver on the league.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what
Their
happened when there's the Lions when they don't have receivers.
Yeah.
What?
team. Yeah.
Doink, wing, wing. That's my impression of arcade bumper noises.
Yeah. But this was a bad time for the Vikings, and it's looking worse going forward. No, then we had the 49ers Cowboys.
Oh boy.
This was the
Talk.
game that's just like, this is why this team is so much better than every other team game. Like it's
People are
insane.
still on my ass. Like even in my chat today, they're like, "You still think Brock Purdy's bad? You still think Brock Purdy's not that good?" I never said Brock Purdy was bad, but I watched a lot of this game, and every wide receiver is open by a country mile. Like
Yep.
it's he doesn't have. I'm not saying he's not good. He doesn't have to be good. He
Yeah.
just it's ridiculous.
Counterpoint. Trey Lance, not even on the team anymore. And they drafted him.
No,
third
I
overall
think
pick.
we are trending towards the Brock Purdy is good like area. We're in that direction. We're on the train. We're going. I'm not there yet, but I'm on the train. I don't know how long
I
the ride
do-
it'll be.
No,
I mean, I do think he doesn't have that many games under his belt, in fairness. So,
No.
you
Yeah.
know.
And is again the greatest offensive team I've seen like and maybe since I've been watching football. Like the Killer Bees were great to watch on the Steelers, and that might be the only comparison I have of like what it's like to have a totally good team all around on offense. But like it's just I mean,
Yeah, this
how
is
do you fuck this up?
This
You
is a
have-
super team. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
super team on offense, and it's almost the number one defense. I don't know.
Mhm.
You were saying how like when one side of the ball does well, the other side of the ball can do well, and
Yeah.
that's just like it's the perfect magic pony unicorn scenario for Purdy, and so that's the only reason I'm still like, hey, let's go in a little measured and not call him the next Tom Brady, okay?
Yeah. I think it's more that he fits what they're trying to do, which is
Yeah.
they're like, don't make mistakes.
No, he's
just
like that
hit
guy's
the open
open.
guy.
Boop, that
Yeah.
guy's open. Boop. Yeah. He's
And
not
and
doing
and
it.
look, again, I'm a fan of a team with a QB who's not had a great career. And there are open guys on a lot of our plays that he just does not hit. So, you know, and
Yeah.
the open guys are oftentimes Garrett Wilson. So, you know that person could make a play with the ball. So, you know,
yes, they're scheming people open, but it's not entirely that, right? You still have to be the guy that can see that and hit them, and he is.
Like, to me, he's not the guy that's going to carry a team like a Patrick Mahomes probably could, but it's more the guy who's like, he can do what he needs to do. And that's all they need is this, just the guy that can do what he needs to do. It's like, give the ball to McCaffrey.
I don't
Give the
know.
ball to
Speaking of Brock Purdy, this is right on the front page of the subreddit, and it's interesting. I'll turn it into a quiz question.
All right.
Brock Purdy is 5 straight wins away from tying blank for the most consecutive wins to start an NFL career, 15.
Ooh.
It's going to be Tom Brady.
No,
It's not Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady did
was,
not. Yeah,
he was bad, wasn't he? Like
he was on the bench. He was.
Well, no. Oh, okay, but yeah.
Yeah, he didn't start as a starter.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like RG3 or
RG3 played like 3 games and exploded.
He played. He had that whole first season, that first rookie
He was really
season
good.
where
And then they
he was
played
amazing.
him injured
Yeah.
and he got hurt again. It was just
This is a Hall of Fame quarterback who's no longer in the league.
Is it Steve Young?
Well, no, he will be in the Hall of Fame. Not in the Hall of Fame yet, but first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh,
I don't know. Who is it?
Ben Roethlisberger.
oh,
He was, he started his rookie season 13-0, and then won the next 2 games of 2005 for 15 in a row.
yeah.
Huh.
Well, he's gross.
Fun little statistic. I didn't actually know that.
I didn't know that either. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's but and I just also want to, like, again, I do agree that he has a small sample size still at this point, Brock Purdy, and he is on a super team. But I do want to push back a little bit on the idea that he's like kind of a game manager kind of guy, because he's from what I've seen, he's not really that. Like he can do that, right? Like they can. They don't necessarily ask him to do a lot, but when they do ask him to do something, he achieves it like he can push the ball downfield. Like maybe he doesn't have a Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes rocket arm, right? But he's solid in every area that you want him to be. Like good footwork, good decision making. Like he's going through reads and progressions and fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like he's. I've seen a lot of bad QB play. And again, important to note, they had a 3rd overall pick on their team that they drafted for the purpose of starting, and he's not even on the team anymore. This guy is. So, even though the team is a super team, Trey Lance couldn't do the kinds of things that they wanted him to do that Brock Purdy can,
I mean, I will say they also lost him in the championship game, and they looked terrible after that with Josh Johnson. So, I mean, there definitely is something there. I'm not saying he's bad either.
And like Shanahan's offense seems to be, I think for good reason, being modeled. Like lots of other offenses in the NFL are modeling their offensive against the Shanahan offense now, because for many years they've put out really good volume numbers for like whoever the fuck is there at QB. And that's totally true. But I think Brock Purdy is doing something exceptional despite all of the things that he's got going for him. I think actually it's more of a example of what happens when you give a QB support, and how many guys probably could have been superstar players if they were given the support and coaching that Brock Purdy is getting right now.
Well, Brock Purdy, it reminds me of the same stat line that, the 4 touchdowns is definitely different, but it reminds me of the same stat line as Minshew, where it's like he rarely throws a bunch of passes, but he makes the ones that he throws, and few interceptions, if any. Like honestly,
I even like thinking of Aaron Rodgers. Like 2010 was our best team when we won the Super Bowl, and we had like every receiver on that team was insane. And it was just like, wow, this is great. Like our entire offense is stacked. And then ever since then, it was just like, maybe we should get him some more help. And they're like, nah, we need defense.
This team is literally the exact opposite of Kansas City. Like Kansas City, they walk up and okay, Mahomes, win us this game, please. Like, I mean, just like go and do your fucking. You and Kelsey just go, like, I don't know, fuck each other. Like, just do some weird shit. Like, I don't care. Go win the game. This is the opposite of that. This is like, okay, we don't have any one individual player that can do that. So we're gonna have everyone win the game. Like everyone does their part in this fucking like well-oiled, perfect machine of offense.
Yeah.
It's honestly pretty scary, and I don't know how anyone could beat them.
But the Cowboys are overrated, but that's another thing.
Cowboys are. Yeah. Really, I think it's just injuries. Like it's gonna come down to injuries.
They got
Like, that's it.
I did say, how is God going to fuck the Niners this year? Like it's got to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a seasonal thing at this point.
The Cowboys look terrible. Like it was just 14 of 24, 153, 1 TD, 3 picks on Dak Prescott. Tony Pollard barely did anything. He fumbled. CeeDee Lamb at 49 yards. Their defense, that was normally like the Cowboy top tier defense, got absolutely demolished. Like it's, and I still don't think the Cowboys are bad. It's just the 49ers are just that much better.
Yeah.
I
mean, the
do not think-
49ers, Sorry, go on.
I don't think the Niners are bad. The Cowboys are bad, but like we're having a schedule issue again. I mean, you guys want to hear the first 4 games of the Cowboys? It's bad. Giants, Jets, Cardinals, Patriots, Niners.
Yeah.
You don't talk about overrated.
Yeah.
That is like 4 of the worst teams.
Yeah.
Like
We do
Yeah,
always
it's
see
pretty
that type
bad.
of thing early on. We're like, dude, that team's like 5-0, and they played like the worst teams. Then they start playing good teams, and all balances out. So,
Who actually? Speaking of, who have the Niners played so far?
same kind of deal. Cowboys were their first good team. Cowboys or Niners
Steelers.
played Steelers, Rams.
Rams are
Giants,
good.
Cardinals.
Yeah, I would say the
but-
Rams are tough, but yeah.
The Rams kept it close for sure.
Yeah,
like
it's
I think that's the
39-23.
first time we saw like a real Niners game versus a team. Oh, I think the Cowboys was probably one too.
yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. We're still like shockingly early on in the season.
True.
Yeah,
So-
it really is. Like we're only a third of the way through, barely. So like there's a lot of time left. But yeah,
I mean, the Niners seem unstoppable. Yeah.
they do. But long season, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Then we had the Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
I want to do my little rant, but do you want to go first with what you need
You can
to
do your
say
rant
about
first.
this?
It's fine.
Okay, so fuck the rest of this game. Okay, it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Yep.
All right, it is the 2-minute warning. Okay,
Yep.
the Raiders have 4th and 1 at the 34-yard line. I want to say on the Green Bay side of the ball. So they're almost like even in the red zone. They're in that territory. 4th and 1. Packers have 1 timeout, which essentially means Raiders get a first down, they win the game. I think the math works out that way because you get the first down, they take the timeout. So it's like 1 minute 55 left in the game, and then you just kneel down, win the game. So you have the decision as Mr. Head Coach McDaniels, Josh McCoachman, to either get 1 yard and win the game outright, or you can kick a 51-yard field goal and change fucking nothing. The game stays exactly the same as it was. The Packers still need a touchdown, regardless. I want to put this at the highest tier of worst fucking decision a head coach has ever made. And this is since the last time Josh McDaniels made a dog shit choice like this, which was during the Steelers game, I think. And I can't even remember how many were there last year, but it was so bad. I cannot believe how more people are not talking about how bad this decision was. This is, again, we're at this point with Josh McDaniels where he makes a fire-worthy decision, like in a game, just think about it, right? You're like, oh, I don't want to give them the ball back on the 33-yard line. That's too close. They might go down and score a touchdown. Oh no! Like, there's zero game sense, game awareness by this coach. Like, get rid of him yesterday. Like, it is so bad.
I think they're in. I think the Broncos are in one of those situations where the owner doesn't want to pay another
Raiders.
head coach.
Yep.
Oh,
You said
what did I
Broncos.
say? Oh, I said Broncos. Sorry.
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
right. I was remembering it from there. But yeah, no, the owner, because he's still paying Gruden. He's paying Gruden, and I
That's
think
funny.
yeah, he's paying Gruden, and I think the last guy too. So
it's
and McDaniel still has like 2 more years or something. Like how long did they sign? They signed him for a couple of years. So
well, that is malpractice in its own right. But like this was one of those things where I was watching the game and it literally had like the equivalent effect on me as if McDaniels had walked into my kitchen and shit on my dining room table. Like at the end of the day, it would have been cleaned and I would have, I would have moved on with my life the next day. But while it was happening, I was really disturbed. Like it is a next level bad decision to do that. Like
I think they should fine coaches for cowardice.
It's
honest.
not cowardice though. Like a coach like halfway through the game going, oh, we're gonna kick a field goal here because I don't trust my offense to get the first down. That's cowardice. This is a bad game decision that should have lost them the game. They should have lost the game because of this. It was objectively terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Speaking of objectively terrible, how did you feel about Jordan Love?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not just going to blame Jordan Love. I will blame Jordan Love for numerous things he did. But I thought the Matt LaFleur game plan was terrible. All right. First up, I thought he called a terrible game. There were times where it was like, dude, you gave the ball to A.J. Dillon. He's actually running for like 5-6 yards. And then we keep giving it. It's like, dude, what if we just keep running the ball? And then like, and stop. And it's like, why do you just run the ball? Like, what? Why are you stopping? It just didn't make sense. Like the one drive, they scored a touchdown. They just ran the ball, and the Raiders couldn't do shit. And then they're like, uh-oh, well, let's just start passing again. Like, why? Or they're like, let's do some screen bubble reverse shit. Just run it. Just run up the Dillon. He's running over people. It's like the first time he's looked good the whole year, and they just don't use him. Like, I don't understand his play calling mindset. He's trying to do, like, some cute, dumb shit. Like, stop. Then, yeah.
You get like a 76-yard pass by Christian Watson, and then you can't score on like the 5-yard line with first and goal. That's bad.
Yeah. And like,
it's bad play calling.
I still would have went for it on 4th down. You're at the 3. All right. Like if you don't get it, it's the Raiders, man. They're at their own 3. Garoppolo's already thrown a pick and looked bad. Like you think they're going to drive 97 yards? No, then you get another chance. Like I hate the like conservative, like, well, take the points. Like, no, don't take the point. Like put them behind. Like, let's go. And if you don't do it, then, oh, well, you try again later. And honestly, they did that earlier in the season. And it worked out. And then they just stopped. Like, I don't know. It's like they're playing scared now. Like, they're getting, flustered. Like, oh, we're losing now. We got to get all the points we can. Like, no. Why? So I hated that. I hated the LaFleur game plan. I thought it was dumb. Our offensive line still doesn't know how to block. Crosby literally is just, like, running around like a Madden linebacker where someone just takes control and they're just running him back and forth. They're like, guys, I don't know what he's going to do.
Crosby single-handedly won the entire game. Like it was ridiculous.
Constantly in his face. So like, I'm not gonna blame Love the whole time because he's still like, you can tell he's getting rattled now because like they're like the first few weeks you look good. Well, yeah, he didn't have Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby just constantly just there every play. Like they don't know how to stop him. So it's like that's gonna like any quarterback when that starts happening, you're gonna be like and it's going to make you like inaccurate. You're constantly like, you don't go through your reads as well. Like he's obviously getting flustered and it's partially because the offensive line doesn't know how to block. Just if you have one player that's like that, like TJ Watt, Hutchinson, Crosby, just any one player, Myles Garrett, like good, we're going to lose because we don't know how to block that. It's just, and then, so there's my thing with Love. All right. He has this thing. Brett Favre kind of had it too, where like he needs to get into a rhythm, and if he's not in a rhythm, he's just like he's kind of goofing throws. He's inaccurate. But once he gets into the rhythm, you're like, oh shit, here we go. Like that's what happened against the Saints. It's like 4th quarter, he got into his rhythm and he was just firing, and you're like, okay, like here we go. But until he gets into the rhythm, he's just like whatever. He's bad, and so I'm like, okay, maybe LaFleur is gonna help him out here, get into a rhythm, and then he starts, and then they just do some dumb shit again. Or then, like, the final drive, like, they were actually driving down the field. You're like, okay, here we go. And then drop pass. He literally, like, hits him right in the chest, dropped it. And then the next one, he throws it a little behind them, but, like, still catchable ball if you're an NFL football player, drops it. And then the next play is the interception to the end. But, like, if they catch the passes, they're down to, like, the 20. Like, like nobody's doing them any favors, which I think is my biggest issue with it is, like, here's the thing, all right? Start of the season, I expected this to be like a young team. And in fact, the whole Reddit and like all these people like, it's going to be a rough season. moving on from our Hall of Fame quarterback, growing pains. And, we'll see how he does through the season, progress. And now week 5, they're like, he fucking sucks. Like, okay, can we, let him play a season and, learn? And they're just like, well, he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Okay, it's literally the equivalent of being like, okay, you got to learn how to swim. And it's like, this guy jumped into the water right away and learned how to swim. Like, okay, he's been learning how to swim on the bench, but until you actually get in the water and start swimming, it doesn't mean shit. Like, you got to learn, and you're going to learn by actually doing it. And so it's like, give him some time to actually play games and learn from making mistakes to experiencing in-game things, and then you can go. And sure, you could be like, but CJ Stroud. Well, yeah, CJ Stroud also looks like an anomaly. All right,
Yeah.
like different people learn at different rates and look at Geno Smith. It took him 8 years to finally to become Geno season. And here, I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, but to say the dude is bad after 5 games, come on. Especially when his receivers are dropping shit. And honestly, I think a lot of his problem is footwork. He's trying to do crazy Rodgers shit, sidearm throws, and sometimes it works, and then sometimes it's dude, just plant your feet. I think that's why I still don't feel as bad, because it's a lot of his throws are just plant your feet and throw it. He's doing hopping around and shit. You just stop. So, and then the defense. The defense is actually the most frustrating part, because Joe Barry just does this dumbass soft zone coverage where he's like, okay, what if we give the receiver 15 yards of cushion? And they're like, all right, throw him a quick slant. And he's like, wow, I didn't think he'd throw it to the guy who's got 15 yards open space to run around. Oh my God. And he's putting linebackers on Davante Adams. It blows my mind. And it's not the first time he's done it. This dude coached the 0-16 Lions defense. Why is he here? Anyway, we actually, despite all that, could have won the game, which is, here's the thing. We've been in most of the games somehow, which to me, whatever, it's fine. We're still close, and it's frustrating. And part of it is just because it's a young team. The receivers are composed of first year starters or second year starters. That's our entire receiving core, and tight ends. It's a young team outside of Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. So you're gonna expect growing pains, but obviously he had some bad throws. He threw the terrible interception. He looked inaccurate, but I still give him a season. If he looks this bad in week 17 or week 15, then I'll be all right, that's not good. But I think he'll do better. But now here's the thing: we got a bye week. All right, we got a bye week, and then we play the Denver Broncos. This should be either the ultimate cure for a team like this, or it's just gonna, if we lose to the Broncos, people are gonna lose their shit.
After a bye week, too.
After a bye week. This should be this should be a free win. This should be the offense comes together. They're like, guys, we fixed a lot of our issues. We come out. Jordan Love goes back to week 1 against the Bears, 4 touchdowns. He's loving life. And everyone's like, I can't believe I did. I guarantee. Or it'll be a trash. It'll be start Sean Clifford, the big red dog, off the bench, you dumb idiots. So either way, I listen. I expected ceiling this year was a wild card berth. That's the ceiling I expected. So I'm not I'm more devastated that we lost to Josh McDaniels when he goofed all his shit. That's more what hurts. But I still was whatever.
I think actually, I have a permanent swollen vessel in my brain from that decision. Still, I think that's a permanent damage.
Yeah.
Can I also question Josh McDaniels a little bit here?
Please.
You definitely can.
So they had only 4 targets to Davante Adams in the whole game.
That's bad.
I know that they won, but they had 10 targets to Jacoby Myers, and it was 4 to Davante Adams, and it was 4 receptions.
Yeah.
I don't why did they?
I will say
why are they only
that
targeting him 4 times?
He was being covered by Jair Alexander most of the time, which obviously they played together. I think they know each other, so it was
That's fair. Yeah,
he's probably covering
he is
him
a
well.
He's a good CB, yeah. But still, that's quite a shutdown.
Yeah.
That's the thing is it doesn't read like a shutdown. I didn't watch the game this closely, so that's fair enough. But I don't know, only 4 targets.
Well, after the game, Jair Alexander also said, quote, "At this point, it's pretty obvious the defense has to not give up any touchdowns." So he's pretty pissed off.
Well, hey, I
Yeah.
got good news. If both of our offenses still suck by November 12th, we get to watch them play each other.
Oh boy! Well, you're gonna win
Well-
because you have a guy that can rush the passer through our offensive line.
Oh, we have two. So
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
So that's a Steeler win already.
we'll
but
see. I don't know, man.
we had Aaron Rodgers weighing in, and he
Oh,
said,
yeah.
"quote I would just say to Packers fans, take some deep breaths and trust this kid. He's a great kid. He cares about it. He's going to be around for a while, and they're going to get it fixed. There's going to be growing pains. I had growing pains my first year starting. We all go through it. He's going to be fine. They got a young team. They got some injuries. Aaron Jones has been out. He's a dynamic player. The important thing is you got to keep your confidence as a young quarterback. You got to keep pushing through, be the same guy every single day, and inspire your team."
Wow. Since when did
That's nice.
Rodgers not say douchebag thing?
Yeah. Because, I mean, I was curious.
I mean, he's been doing
'cause-
that for us too. Actually, he keeps like every week he keeps putting out a message being like, "Okay, guys, the world's not ending." And of course, Jets fan base, so it's like it's set it all on fire,
Yeah.
end it all.
I
But,
mean, the
yeah.
funny part is that Rodgers in his first year, he's right. He went 6-10. And I guarantee you, there were people who were just like, "Should have got Brett Favre. Look at this shit." And week 4, funnily enough, he went 14 of 27 for 165 yards, 2 TDs, and 3 interceptions. So he too threw 3 interceptions against the Buccaneers, and then they lost the next week against the Falcons. By the way, because some people are like, "Well, see, he was throwing touchdowns," but if you look at his receivers compared to our receivers, like dude was throwing to Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, and James Jones. Like all of those are like some of our best receivers ever. Like he had four insane wide receiver. Like James Jones was our 4. He's probably a number 2 on another team at that point. Like it's insane. So a lot of it does depend on the team you've got around you as well. And it's just like, that's why I'm like, just give him time. Right? Like, I don't know. I'm not too worried. We'll see by the end of the season, but it's the classic NFL emotional reaction fan base. It's the same people who are like, "Bengal season's over, guys. Joe Burrow, he actually sucks ass. I knew he wasn't good, even though he got us to the Super Bowl." And then the next week they're like, "Joe Burrow's looking like he's better, guys. I think he's better." Like, oh my God, just calm down. I hate it. In fact, this is the same fan base last year. They're like, "Trade Aaron Rodgers. He sucks. We're like 1-5." And then we go on like a 7-game. They're like, "I knew he was good. I knew he was good." Like, just calm down. All right. I hate it. I hate the emotional like reaction of just fan bases when they do this type of shit. Anyway.
It's funny because like the Jets community is far different in the sense that the people that I find the most frustrating are the ones who are like, "I hate that people are so negative about the Jets." I'm like, what the fuck are you positive about? What have you been watching the team? So so it's just a funny different worlds, same game kind of thing.
Yeah, it's and really it's every sport. Like every sport, I'll watch my team play, and I go into the thing, and everyone's just like, "Fire them all," or like, "I love my team." Like it's never just sane takes of like, "This was a very sound win with some mistakes that we can surely fix up by the next week, guys."
Look, I watch football. I don't get to derive enjoyment from winning in football, so I derive enjoyment in my ability to be irrational. It's the only place that I allow myself to be openly irrational, and I enjoy it.
It's I mean, it is an entertainment product at the end of the day, right? Like whatever it's gonna be. They did the same shit. Justin Field first 3 weeks were like, "Yeah, Caleb Williams time, guys. Justin Field, I knew he sucks ass." And then they're like, last 2 games, they're like, "I think he's back to MVP form, like we thought." Like, okay. Either way, that's this week in football. It's cool. We move on to power ranking.
Power ranking.
Power rankings. All right. So, Bear is not here.
That's true. He's right. That was a good call.
Oh, did we not? We didn't get the coaches' pick'ems, did we? Or did he send them to you?
He did send them to me, so we do have.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
He sent me all the stuff. So,
Cool.
First things first, we have the top 5 teams starting with Rob.
Oh, I will go with the Kansas City Chiefs, please.
Correct. Apollo.
Eagles.
Yep. Rob.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Yep. Rob or Apollo.
Rob.
I mean, all right. Shit.
Dolphins.
Yep. Rob.
Is it the Lions?
It is the Detroit Lions.
Oh.
There it is.
Five-team
Wow.
Detroit
They're here.
Lions.
Has that in the history of the podcast? Has that ever happened?
I
No.
don't think so.
I can
Yeah.
confidently say without looking, no.
Yep. Then we have this week's thinnest dink. In fact, this is blocked out. I don't even know who the thinnest dink is. I might take a shot here.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. But Rob can do it first.
Oh, okay. The thinnest dink is the New Orleans Saints.
All right, that's a good guess, Apollo.
That's a good guess. I'll guess something different. I'll say the Jacksonville Jaguar.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think they
Okay,
gotta be flying
okay,
back up there,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it is the Colts.
Ah, shit.
They went up 9. Whew.
What the
Wow.
fuck?
That's
I
crazy.
mean, they are. Honestly, I'm surprised every time that they have a win, or even in their losses.
Yeah.
They're a very surprising team.
Yeah. Fattest doink time, everybody.
Oh boy.
Oh god. Well, some teams can't fall any lower.
Yeah.
Give me
Oh,
the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
give me the New England Patriots.
Oh, I think that
Yeah.
might actually be it.
Yeah.
I'll mix it up. I'm gonna go with the who else lost? Commanders. There you go. I'll go Commanders.
That's a
And
good
it
guess.
is the Titans.
No, it's the same
Shit.
game.
It's the same
Oh,
game.
damn it.
They fell 7 spots. 7. Woo.
Wow.
That's a rough drop there.
I disagree with you, Mr. Eric Edholm. I think the Patriots are worser than them.
Patriots already fell last week a bunch.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I guess if Patriots aren't in the bingo for later on, where are they? I want to know that by the end.
Where are they indeed? In fact, where are the Patriots?
Good question. And
they
where
are-
is Carmen Sandiego? We've been looking for this lady for 30 years.
Somewhere in the world.
Yeah,
I know
I
that
mean, it's just amazing.
True or
Modern
false?
technology.
Robert, after
Yes.
2 consecutive 30-point losses and a 1-4 record, the New England Patriots are now ranked in the bottom 3 of the NFL.com power rankings.
Ooh.
God, that's torn for Rob right now.
I-
We
yeah,
can't- like he might bust. Like if it's
I
true.
honestly, I think I have to say true just because I want to will it to be real.
That's false.
Oh.
Shit!
But,
Oh, fuck you, Eric Edholm.
but it's a bit of a trick because they are the 4th worst team in the NFL.
Oh, you, Eric.
Give it one more week.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna have words, Eric.
Apollo. Trivia callback. In the in the week 4 power rankings, the Colts were the lowest ranked AFC South team while leading the division. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are following suit as the lowest ranked AFC North team despite leading the division. True or false? In other words, are the Steelers the lowest ranked AFC North team?
I don't. Ah, man, we won, but we did not look good doing it. I'm gonna say that they are ranked above the Browns, so I'll say that it's false.
It is true. The
Oh.
Ravens are 10, the Browns are 12, the Bengals are 15. And
What?
Yep.
Okay, at home, I don't know about that one. She,
And,
Eric.
the Steelers
Eric.
the Steelers are 20.
That I don't care where the Steelers are. The fact that the Browns, who lost to the Steelers, are above the Bengals, who looked better this week, and the Browns, who apparently Deshaun Watson is still like injured potentially. Like, I don't know about that one. At home, we're gonna have to write that one down.
Come on,
I don't know
Ed.
about that one.
Come on,
Eddie boy.
That's too high for the Cleveland Browns. That's too high.
Yep. Knowing that the AFC North is the highest ranked division with an average rank of 14.25, which division has the lowest average rank? Anybody?
Ooh, AFC South.
Oh, that's probably right. I'll say the NFC South just to switch it up.
It is the NFC North. Even with the Lions reaching the top 5, the Packers are 18, Vikings 25, and the Bears 30th, brings the rank down to 19.5, the worst in the league.
Wow.
The Bears didn't go up that much for beating the Commanders.
Yep. Who would have guessed? Probably because the Commanders are ranked 26th.
Yeah.
The Jets write-up features the phrases "looked incredible," "terrific," and "consistently dominant," while stating that Zach Wilson does a lot of little things well. With this in mind, Rob, true or false? The New York Jets are ranked in the top 15 of the NFL.com power rankings.
I mean,
no way.
There's not a chance, right? I mean, also, can I just say that the questions have become much more cerebral and and complex, and I want to answer in the form of a question because I think that's more fitting. So I will say, what is false?
That is correct. The Jets are still ranked 19th, the same spot they've been for 3 weeks.
You know,
that's
fair.
fitting. Yeah.
That's very fair. Yeah.
Yep. And those are your NFL.com power rankings by Blue Beard at NFL.com.
Thank you again to Pixel Haven for this, right?
Yes.
Pixel Haven's the one doing these.
Pixel Haven does pretty much all of it.
Everything. Yeah.
Yep. So thank you
basically
very much,
the whole podcast.
Because otherwise we would know absolutely nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. So now we move on to Pick'em.
Pick them.
Pick them.
So this week in Pick'ems, we have Pick'em stats. Krendor goes 9-6. Rob goes 7-8. Bear goes 11-4. Apollo 8-7. Randy went 10-5. Discord goes 9-6, and MILF Jason goes 8-7.
Yeah,
it's an 8-7 kind of week.
Yeah,
it's a rough 7-8. That hurts.
Yep.
That one hurts.
One Bear to rule them all. Bear's the only one with a winning record in 1v3s this season. He's 6-2, while Apollo's next best at 2-3.
Oh shit.
Yep.
It is wild.
London falling. London games have historically given Apollo and Discord trouble in Pick'ems. Sinvicta is 9-3, Rob and Bear 9-5, Krendor 7-7, Randy 4-3, and Apollo and Discord 3-4.
Well, that makes sense. My fiance's from England, so
you have the power.
Exactly. Yeah.
It truly does create the magical aura of picking London NFL games.
Yeah, exactly.
Break in the chain. This week ends Krendor's 14-game streak correctly predicting the Bears. This was the fourth longest streak ever recorded. Discord Cardinals 17, Sinvicta Chiefs 16, Sinvicta Ravens 15, Krendor Bears 14. And funnily enough, I think it's because I picked them to lose every game, and they did up until now.
Yeah, that worked.
I didn't realize Discord had a 17-game Cardinals streak.
I didn't either.
Hilarious.
That is pretty funny. Predictable as always. The Giants are the best predicted team so far this season. Combining all picks gives a 33-2 record. The Bengals are the least successful at 9-26.
Yeah, they have had a confusing year.
Fair.
But also the Giants being shitty, I guess, is something we all agree on.
That is true. And Randy's wreckage with Rob losing his Bills lock each... Wait, what does that say? Oh, host. It's blocked by a little arrow. Each host has now had a lock successfully counterpicked by Randy this season. When Randy picks against a lock, the games are split 5-5. Dude, he gives them the 50-50 magic.
He does.
The bastard. Bastard coin.
Bastard coin, indeed. Which on the season, Randy's now 45-38. So, I mean, Pretty
He's
solid.
having one of his best seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far. Yeah.
And
I don't know enough about statistics to know how amazing it is or not amazing it is that he is perfectly 50-50 usually.
It is exactly expected as his
That's
statistics.
what I figure, yeah. But I mean,
Not to
Yeah.
spoil the magic, but that is how statistics
that's
work.
wild. No way. And that's the stats. Now we're on to actual pick'ems.
oh, and also I do want to mention the graph is back now. We've gotten to the first week where we have a graph.
Oh yeah, the graph returns.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's about expected.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I had a very down week. That's sad. Almost everybody had a down week except for Bear and Grendel.
Yeah. Yeah, I did slightly
Randy.
above average. And Randy. So,
Yeah.
you know. Pick'ems.
Pick'ems!
Yep. Here we go.
More games this week, I think, too, right?
We got some more bye weeks this week. So
Well, more bye weeks, but also more games than last week, I think.
that is true, I believe, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have one extra game.
Yeah.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
It is
12,
one
13,
extra
14,
game.
15. Yeah, okay.
I'll help you.
Broncos.
also count
Oh, wait.
twos.
Our assistant coach is.
Oh, yeah.
There we
got
go.
that open.
It is Torak, and they have the Tampere Saints as their logo on their thing, which is the logo from their local football team in Finland.
Oh,
That's
that's,
pretty
cool.
Yeah,
That
look
is
at that.
cool.
Yeah.
How do you catch the games? Aren't they? What time are they on?
They would be on at night, which is not
Yeah.
like you wouldn't be watching any of the night games, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
I would
watch
imagine
the
that-
games.
if anything, Red Zone's probably in prime time.
That's
That
yeah.
might be true.
Probably
Yeah.
like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
probably
then
7,
it
8.
runs for 7 hours.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that is 7 hours
Yeah.
at 8 p.m. Night owl.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no,
yeah. Or maybe football's on at breakfast because that would
That's
be
true,
pretty
too.
sick, actually.
Yeah, breakfast football.
Yeah, imagine having a bacon, egg, and cheese and getting up watching your team.
I don't
Yeah.
think they have those in Finland.
Yeah, they don't have bacon.
They
I think
got
they have like
salmon.
shaved oysters and stale noodles.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm shit talking Finland.
Yeah, fuck
cheese.
you, Finland. We got a problem with you.
Look, the Nordic countries are not known for their food delicacies. All right, that's just
That's
not
true.
a
They
place
got,
you
I mean-
go.
stinky fish.
They've got
Yeah.
reindeer steak and
Yeah.
reindeer popsicles.
Oh, so they
and-
kill magical creatures for sustenance. That's kind of fucked up,
Yeah.
honestly.
Actually, I've heard that a lot of the time the reindeers just get hit by lightning, and so they just
Yeah.
eat the lightning deer.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know why I believed you.
I think that might be true. Like
There's no fucking way that's
I
true.
straight
Rob.
up, I think that might be true.
They don't have a
Google it.
lightning problem in Norway. All right.
I mean, that's how
Why are you
reindeers
Googling it?
get hit by lightning.
that's how they get
a
so
lot.
strong. Eating lightning deer meat.
That's not the question that was originally. First off, I
That's
can
the
answer
question
that. No,
I'm
they
posing.
don't.
Here's a YouTube video. More than 300 reindeer are killed by single lightning
There
strike.
it is. Checkmate,
They-
atheist.
Oh wait,
Their
so it happened
weakness-
one time.
No, their weakness is lightning. I'm just saying, if
this
they're
is not
Pokemon,
all right. If,
well, it
if
does
anything,
seem
they'd be grass type and
so.
wouldn't be weak to it at all.
Everyone
anyway.
knows that after they get kicked out of Santa's village, they go to
That's
Finland
it. I'm
and they're
picking
hit
the
by
deer
lightning.
versus the lightning. I'm locking the deer.
Every bolt of lightning is just Santa striking them down.
yeah, it's actually 320 something deer. It's confusing how many deer it was, but it killed a lot of deer.
Yeah, look at that.
Mhm.
Anyway, Broncos Chiefs.
Yeah,
I'm going
I'll take
Chiefs
the
here.
Chiefs. Yeah,
I mean,
I might
Torak.
even lock the Chiefs, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Torak also picked the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Ravens Titans.
Ravens. I want the Ravens to go in a death spiral. It's my dream, but they're not. They're gonna.
This
win
is also
game.
an EU game.
It is London
Oh,
again.
this
Yep.
is London.
So I
Interesting.
historically fucking suck at that. So
So I'm gonna go with
Dude.
Titans.
Since we have our assistant coach being a Finnish person, can we say briefly that I personally I want a whole division in Europe. I think that would be really fun.
It would be pretty fun.
Germany, London,
Yeah,
Spain, and
Finland.
oh, Friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Finland.
Franceland.
Yeah, Franceland.
I'm also taking the Ravens. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And Torak picked the Ravens as well. So yeah, I'm going Titans here.
Should be a win. Should be a 1v6
Could be.
probably.
Yeah. Well, wasn't there? Wait, hold on. Didn't we just read? Isn't he good at the 1v?
No, that's Bear.
That's better.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Panthers, Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock the Dolphins. I think.
That's fair.
That's
yeah.
fair.
I will also take the Dolphins.
I will be taking the Dolphins, yes. And
Yeah.
Torak also took the Dolphins.
But hopefully
Surprise.
Adam Thielen has a good game.
Yeah.
Good game.
A good game.
Then we have Saints, Texans.
I'll take the Saints.
Uh,
I think the Saints are a better team. I think the Texans were just a wee bit overrated.
that's true.
I don't. I think the Saints are a better team, but I kind of want to pick the Texans, but I also think the Saints. I'm going to take the Saints.
Yeah, all right. I'll be cowardly. I'll take the Saints too. But I do
Wow.
think this could be.
You guys watch 1 week against the Steelers, and you
No,
think the
it's-
Texans are suddenly magic. That's
It's
not
just
gonna
that the
happen.
Saints, I don't think, are that good.
I
That's-
agree.
That's the thing.
I
It's
think
I
the
think
Saints
they're-
are only gonna get better as the year goes on. I think.
yeah.
We'll see. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Commanders, Falcons.
Ew.
Also,
Give
Torak took the
me-
Saints.
This is like two quarterbacks I don't believe in versus each other.
What's the Commanders' run defense like?
Give me the
Let's see.
NFL
team defense.
give me the
Alright.
Commanders.
All right. Run defense is yards per carry.
It's bees. They have a run defense of bees. That would be an effective strategy. if
Their
you
run
just-
defense is bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take the Falcons then.
I think I'm going to take the Falcons as well.
I'll take a 1v. I think the Discord's probably gonna pick Falcons too. Give me the Commanders. Give me them Commanders. Give me the
No,
1v.
Commanders.
Give me the 1v.
Torak actually took Commanders.
Oh, son of a
Alright.
bitch.
Interesting.
I think it's the right pick.
Yeah. Then we have Colts, Jaguars.
Yeah,
You know what?
too.
No, it's the Jags year. Give me the Jags. It's the Jags year, man. They gotta do it.
You know what? This is the Colts Minshew vengeance game. He's
They
going to win.
did. They did fire him. That's
Yep.
true.
I'm going Colts for that reason.
Yeah, I'll take the Jags, but yeah, I mean, this is their first home game of the season or something, right?
I don't.
'Cause they-
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Kinda.
they've been in London for 2 fucking weeks.
yeah.
And
I'll take the Jags, yeah.
All right. Torak takes the Colts. Good pick, Torak. Good pick. Bengals, Seahawks.
Bengals, they're back. Bengals are back.
I agree. Bengals are back.
Bengals are back, but it is Geno season.
He's
if
got a
you
point.
Remember.
Yep.
Bengals are back.
Bengals are back.
Bengals are back, but it is Geno season, if you remember.
The podcast just goes on for like 4 hours. Just saying.
Just continues looping. Yeah. I will take the Bengals, but it's peer pressure. I want it noted that it's peer pressure.
There he goes. Peer pressured into the Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals, Torak also took the Bengals.
You fucking Yoda.
The Bengals he took.
Bengals Torak also took.
Vikings, Bears.
You can't do that with just two
Yeah, I
names.
can't do that.
It doesn't. I guess you could have said Bears Vikings, but I
Oh,
mean,
fuck, man. No Justin Jefferson?
yeah.
I think.
Give me the Bears.
God, I don't want to take the Bears, and I feel like I have to.
I really don't want to take the Bears either. Hold on, wasn't there a Bears stat too, or am I wrong? No, it was a Bears
I'm
stat.
gonna take the Bears. Ugh.
Oh man. I mean, there's no Justin Jefferson, but it is still Kirk Cousins.
It is still Kirk Cousins. The Bears defense is bad, but the Vikings defense is bad. I don't.
It's a divisional game. It's a
It's
50-50 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean it is a home game too.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take the Vikings. I think they have to win this one. I think they're gonna come together.
Yeah. I mean the Bears are bad. Yeah, Vikings. I'll go Vikings.
If the
guys
Vikings lose to the Bears and drop to last in the division, that's
You're picking the Justin Jefferson-less Vikings. I want you to realize that. So when
Have
next
you
week starts,
seen the Bears?
You're gonna be like,
anybody but the Bears.
you're gonna be like, I cannot. But why did I pick the Vikings? It's gonna be like 30-3 at halftime, and you're gonna be
But
like,
I
I
mean-
cannot believe I picked the Vikings.
You're right, but also the Bears.
It is the
though.
Bears.
Yeah, the Bears have put up like 30 points in the
Yeah,
last
but
two
they
games.
give up like 30 points to like. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
It's gonna be like a
Might be.
10-3 loss.
Yeah, probably,
Now that you've
yeah.
said that,
Yeah.
Torak takes the Vikings, as you would expect from Finland.
Mhm.
Right. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
Yep.
That seems culturally sensitive.
And actually, also, we should mention that Finland, as far as I know, historically were not Vikings. That was more
only
to
Norway?
Yes, well, no,
Or mainly
Scandinavia in general, which
Ah.
Finland isn't necessarily considered part of, and I don't think they consider themselves Scandinavian in that sense.
Thank
But I
you for
also
the
could be
history
totally
lesson.
wrong.
So now let's go
so-
Niners Browns.
Apologies if I'm wrong.
Niners.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go Niners.
I'll be so pissed if the Browns are
That
the first team to make
Ah,
the
that would
Niners.
be very annoying.
I agree. It's got to be 49ers.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Gotta be. Patriots Raiders.
Ew.
Yep.
That's gonna be a bad game.
My dumb ass about to pick the Patriots again, and I can't believe that.
Really?
I actually kind of want to pick the Patriots because I'm like, Bill Belichick definitely can't lose this bad 3 games in a row, right?
I'm in that boat. I'm like sunk cost fallacy. Like I'm the one who's been saying they're bad, but like
Yeah.
they have to win eventually because
Yeah.
like I mean.
I think Bill Belichick's going to know how to counter Jimmy Garoppolo and Josh McDaniels.
Oh no, it's Bill Belichick versus former coach, right?
Yeah.
Like
True.
that's a Bill win. That's
It's got to be a
the
Bill win.
Patriots.
It's got to be Patriots.
All right, I'm taking the Raiders. I think you guys are out of your minds.
I
A little bit.
my disdain for Josh McDaniels is so much higher than for like my Patriots suck
Yeah.
like
I
angle.
so I agree, but also counterpoint. Devonte Adams is better than any team or
But
any
they don't
player
even
on
throw him the
either
ball 'cause
team.
They're dumb.
yeah, they don't even throw
Oh, that's
the
a good
ball,
point.
man.
Yeah.
Torak takes the Raiders.
Yeah.
Then we have Cardinals Rams.
No, we have Lions Bucks, Mister.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Lions Bucks.
Come
Sorry.
on.
Lions, Lions season, baby.
Yeah,
Wow, this is shaking Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield coming off of bye week too.
Buccaneers are pretty good with their
Lions
defense. but
season.
I got to go
It's-
Lions. I love the Lions.
It's also
Lion season.
Mike Evans is still out, I believe, right?
Yep.
Lion
so.
season.
Oh, Torak is locking the Lions here.
Wow.
Massive play.
Lion season.
Let's see. Hold on.
Robert.
Mike Evans.
Yep.
And did not return. He's more tweaked than anything else. Week off to rest the receiver in the line. Okay, so he should probably be back.
Okay.
Lion season.
Is he going Buccaneers?
Dan Campbell's gonna walk onto the field
All
and
right.
slap his nuts against Baker Mayfield. All right, and he's gonna throw 7 interceptions. It's Lion season.
You know what? All right. I was rewarded last week. I'll pick the Lions. I'll do it. I did it last week. I'll do it again.
All right.
The Lions.
There he goes. Lions.
Lions.
Cardinals Rams.
Rams. They
Rams.
almost beat the Eagles, man. They're actually
Yeah.
good.
Torak
Rams
taking
are
the
good.
Rams. I am going to also take the Rams. But the
Yeah.
Cardinals, I think, will make it pretty competitive.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I agree the Rams will win.
Yeah, I think the Rams are actually good. Like, I think they're going to probably make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I can
Down
see
the
him as a
line.
wild card.
Yeah.
Eagles Jets. Here it is.
Lock in the Eagles, baby.
God,
Uh,
there is a demon inside of me that makes me want to pick the Jets. A demon, a true demon.
Yeah.
There's no look. The only way that the Jets can win this game is if Brees Hall just annihilates them, which is possible. But I don't.
The Eagles
I
also
haven't-
have the 4th best run defense in terms of yards per carry.
Yeah,
I have not had my psycho pick of the year, and I am doing it now. Give me the Jets.
Oh my God, he's insane.
It's the
Wow.
psycho pick of the year. Mark it on your
That-
calendars. This is official. This is my
All right.
only psycho pick of the year.
Yeah,
I did it last year with the Bears. Remember, I did
Yeah,
it with
I
the
remember.
Commanders. It's psycho pick time.
If I were an Eagles fan, I would say this definitely looks like a trap game. You know, with Brees
Yep.
Hall and like our defense, I could see that being a trap game.
It
but
is a psycho, dude. My confidence is only rising.
Korak takes the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles. I think
Yeah.
everyone's taking the Eagles except Apollo.
I'd be pretty sad though if you do win that and I lose my lock back to
That
back
would be
weeks.
pretty funny.
That would be pretty.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame. But I'd like the Jets to win, so who cares?
Giants, Bills.
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 I will be locking the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice.
Yep. Yep. That's I
Yeah.
hope they flex that one actually. With
Yeah,
probably
no.
honestly Lions Buccaneers would be a fun one to flex it with.
Well, they can't flex yet, right?
They can flex.
I think they can now, right? But
Yeah,
they only
can
have.
flex, but they only have 2 until
Yeah, I don't
week
think
10.
they're not going to
Right.
waste it on this one. I don't think.
I don't know, man. It's like damn
I
Giants.
don't want to
It's going to
watch
be
the
big.
Giants
It's going to be
again.
horrible.
I agree with you. Oh, they have Dolphins Eagles next week. Poggers.
Yeah, that's
That
pretty good.
is.
Or
a
like
good
the week
game.
after, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I would love if Lions Buccaneers got flexed to Sunday night. That'd be a fun game.
Yeah, that game probably will be good.
Monday
actually.
night game looks pretty good too. This
Oh yeah,
week,
Cowboys
too.
Chargers.
Yeah, Cowboys
Fun
Chargers
game.
will be
All right,
good.
Cowboys Chargers. I'm gonna go Chargers.
Ah.
I don't believe in the Cowboys, but I super don't believe in the Chargers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
these are two teams I don't believe in.
Well, no, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. The Cowboys just have. I'm just gonna go by better record. They
All right.
have the better record, right?
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. No. I'm going Chargers because the Cowboys they haven't played a good team. Remember that was the thing.
Oh,
They haven't
yeah.
played a good team yet.
That's
That is
true.
true.
But it
I'm
is the
going Chargers.
Chargers. Wait, who did they play? The Chargers played. They lost to the Dolphins, lost to the Titans. They beat the Vikings and the Raiders. So
Okay, they also really haven't played a
Yeah.
particularly good team
Yeah.
either besides the Dolphins. But
yeah.
I'm still going Chargers.
All right. Torak's going Cowboys.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Yeah. And
All right.
unfortunately, Bear didn't make it back in time for his pick. So I'm
Yep.
sure he'll.
He'll probably submit him, I imagine.
Yeah.
Randy.
Randy time, everybody. Here we go. Randy is taking the Chiefs. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Randy is taking the Titans. Good Randy. Good Randy. Randy's taking the Panthers. Oh boy.
Wow.
Randy's taking the Texans,
Mm-hmm.
the Falcons, the Colts, the Bengals, the Vikings, the Browns,
Oh, come on, Randy.
Ooh, you're doing so good.
the Patriots, the Lions, the Rams,
Mhm.
the Jets. Oh boy.
Oh, Randy.
There it
Randy.
is. The
Wait!
Giants.
No, wait a second.
He's a lot killer, Rob.
No, that's not. That's. Hold on a second. Each host now locks his counterpick by Randy. The season picks against the lock. The games are split 5-5. You bastard!
Randy has picked the Giants, everyone. Just throwing that one out
That's
there.
also bad, yeah.
Yep. And the Chargers.
Wait, Rob, what if he's killing Krendor's lock this week instead? He's going after 2 locks.
Oh
Uh,
fuck! He's expanding.
Wait, did he
and-
go after my lock too? He picked the Dolphins or the Panthers?
He picked the Panthers.
Oh my God, he's killing all of our locks. Imagine he,
He
kills all
actually
of our
is.
locks.
He
the
heard.
Same week.
And
He
Randy
knows.
will be locking. Was this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Did he pick the 49ers or the Browns?
Browns,
He picked the
he
Browns.
picked the
He's locking the
Browns.
Browns.
Randy's a freak, man.
Oh my God.
Oh shit, dude! Randy has it out for
I'm
us this week.
terrified.
This guy's
This
insane.
week. I'm
Jeez.
horrified.
That's
we're
rough.
gonna like triple. It's gonna be like a insane. Now we gotta see if he picks against Bear. Bear doesn't even know. He might already
Right,
have the
yeah.
dark magic flowing through his veins.
Oh shit!
But that's it. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah.
Patrons right here. There they are. One patron thing is always bigger than the other. It's a problem. And I can't even move. There it is. And we'll see you next week. Good to see you. Bye, everybody. Bye. Like, comment, subscribe.